Oh, my camera is like broken. Oh, that's not even the right scene. There we go. That would be because I was muted talking to chat. They can't even hear you, which is the worst part. All they heard me is go so that's kind of even worse.
To move my camera over to here. But then I also mean
Squins2731 just resubscribed for 6 months. Has it been this long already? Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Hi, milady.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. Orbot, it's time to wake up.
Who got first? Let me pause Spotify. It's very loud. I was just jamming out, really. I was jamming out.
No, you didn't turn me on an hour ago. Now you gotta wait.
Oh, chaos is very loud. Hold on.
Oh.
Chaos can.
Are you guys? I just asked my chat. So you guys feel free to tell me if you guys are not.
Okay.
Are you guys ever gonna?
Who got first? Tori. Congratulations on first. Hello, Huey. First typing
what?
in chat. That counts. First in my heart, Mock. I'm only here for about 10 minutes, no problem. Wolfie, enjoy your thing.
Maybe?
Enjoy your thing. Hi, Zarl. How you doing? Squints, thank you so much for 6 months. I appreciate you.
You really like
Tori was first, yes.
Yeah,
Tori, you were first, of course.
I enjoy it.
Welcome in, everybody. How was your weekend? How did everyone's weekend go? I hope you had a good weekend.
Now, I know Pixel is streaming. Are you streaming, Broseph?
No,
Broseph doesn't stream.
I do not stream.
Broseph doesn't stream.
I've never actually streamed.
What about Yaga? Are we having a Yaga?
Yes, but not till later.
Not
Because
till later,
yes,
I
because
see.
she's doing IRL stuff and she's 3 hours behind us, so it's still like daytime for her, you know. So she will be joining later. So I would say we should brig, and then if she happens to join, then we can go
then
from
I
there.
will just not. I'll cancel my ship right now.
Oh, there you go.
And
Hi,
I'll just put a
Horseman.
I'll put a different ship on it.
Are we using Rads?
Well, here's what I was gonna
Oh
ask.
my gosh, what?
Well, the guild that I'm currently in, that I'm not gonna say I founded, but I'm co-founder of Liability. We've been doing pretty well these last few months, and we're actually in a pretty good position to rank in the top 25% again. So I was going to ask if just temporarily, if you guys wanted to join my guild for tonight and run one of my ships, it would be very helpful.
Oh, would
to
it?
me.
Oh, would it be very helpful to you?
It would. And may I add that my guild's level 41, which means we could run guild and make a lot of money.
Right, and my guild is like nothing because no one
Level
ever
2.
plays Sea of Thieves with me anymore.
Well, you would have to play Sea of Thieves to be.
I asked to play Sea of Thieves all the time, and you're like, I don't want to sail. I don't want to sail. I don't want to sail. And then you sail every single Tuesday with your sweaty bros. So don't even. I asked to play Sea of Thieves all the time. I'm literally like, when are we sailing? 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 Yes, yes. Look at our DMs. Look at our DMs. I will pull them up right now. I will literally expose. I will literally expose your DMs right now, Chaos, because I ask all the time, when are we sailing? No, this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. No, I ask all the time, when are we, literally, no, I ask all the time to sail. You want to play with your bros, and that's why your why your guild is ridiculous.
No,
yes, it is.
That's totally untrue. Misinformation. Skill issue.
Can I join 3 guilds?
Yeah, you can go up to 3 guilds.
Ark, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. You came in the perfect time. Just exposing Chaos for his lies.
No.
Yes.
Literally unfounded.
Literally.
I should have immunity.
No. No. The starter stream argument? No, it's not an argument. It's not an argument. You guys weren't around when I streamed with Voldemort, he who must not be named. That was always an argument. All right, I'm gonna do raid shit. I like how they laughed. Don't make me turn this stream around.
Listen, I'm a victim here.
Anyway, hi Art, welcome in. How was your stream? Thank you so much for being here. You guys know the deal.
I don't plan on dying. You're gonna die.
You know the deal. Hi there, friends. Are you a human being with disgusting bodily functions? They can't know we're like this until they're here. I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the bus. This is what heroes look like. You can't do anything with human meat, which is kind of boring. Why did you hold it like that? Why are you looking so close?
I wasn't. I just looked down and I can see it.
Look at that donk. Put your clothes on. What if you just like collected a bunch of farts? What have I done? Are you pooping? I can't stream in these conditions. I have poopies for you. That won't and can't go wrong. Don't give me that baby. Oh my gosh, my mom. He's still rolling.
Eat.
No. I was already out. That was for the smell. I'm trying to make the poop.
Chaos, come watch us.
I'm trying to make sure we don't die.
I'm a big girl. I do Mordors. I keep finding these boners. Maybe let's not say those things on my stream. Oh my hot dogs! What is happening?
There's a defrib.
Oh, what is this?
Defrib.
Ho-ho! We home! Name every year in the 80s. I couldn't make this up if I tried. I don't want to fight in the poo. Where would Klefki's butthole be? You know, like these are the important questions. How do I know so much of Umbop? You did not just Umbop me.
I would play Jenga.
Yeah, I could play Shenga. Shenga? Go, bees! I just want to be beautiful like her. Is it working? I'm a cat, I can help you. He's totally dead, he's just standing there. Just because I was supposed to move him. What did? Oh, I look like the kid from Stranger Things. You can go anywhere on Twitch, and this is what you choose to do with your time.
You're like, yeah, then you're like, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I'm trying to, hold on, can I like match up with my character? Hold on a second. Oh my gosh, look. Look, hold on. Look. There we go. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now I'm my character, kind of, mostly. Kind of.
Sea of Lies. Ghost says it's the Sea of Lies, which isn't incorrect. Oh my god, I know you guys probably haven't watched it,
Hold on, how do I get my invite?
Yeah, how do you get the invite?
Yeah, how do you get the invite?
I'll just, I think I can just, can I just join your game? Hold on, game. No, I can't join your game.
I don't know, for some reason it said I had charcoal beard. I don't know what that means.
Nice ab lines, thanks. I'm super fit.
Thanks. Pending invite.
Super fit. I'm also, I'm drinking my grog right now. You know? Super fit. Just at the gym. I'm at the gym literally 24/7. And I just got these like sweet new wrist tattoos and stuff. They're pretty cool. It's hard to sit like this.
So on Steam it says that I have one pending invite, but I don't know what. Oh, let me see the notifications. Hold on.
How about you play through Game Pass?
We do.
Oh, sorry, not Steam. Game Pass. Sorry.
I was just like.
Yeah. So if I do.
Is it wrong?
Yeah. No. I'm just a fool.
Social. Yeah, like I don't have an invite. Oh, join game.
Attempt again.
You are joining a game. Yes. What's the plan for thieving tonight? I don't know. You'd have to ask Capitan Chaos.
Monsieur.
He is the one that makes the plans.
Chaos. Well, there's a lot of fun stuff. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, the new season's supposed to be really good, right?
Yeah. You should sit down for this. Good.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the new season right now is fantastic. It like not only is this season great, but
Burpee
like,
Box jumps, buddy.
the season coming up, season
upgraded a
it pretty
trading
much
company
revealed
item to
like
its
information
maximum.
for like
Okay.
3 seasons. So 12, we're in 11, so they revealed stuff for 12, 13,
Oh, I'm
and
getting achievements.
14.
Like achievements are popping for no just. Okay.
And
I
I'm
feel like
super
this happens
excited.
every time I play Sea of Thieves. Sorry, I don't mean to
What?
interrupt, but like every time I open Sea of Thieves, I feel like I get all the achievements that I earned the last time I played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that is something that occurs. Every so often, it'll be like, what does it tell me that I keep getting? Like the Lord of Gold or whatever. I don't know if it's like you make like 10,000 gil. I play too much Final Fantasy. 10,000 gold. It's like you're the Lord of Gold, and I'm like, dude, I did that like forever ago. Why are you giving this to me again? They're like, I don't know. We just think it's kind of neat. And
What book is it?
Yeah.
Squints.
But yeah, no, the new seasons they're literally
I can't hear anybody again.
Well.
Well, we can hear you.
We can hear you, and we can hear each other. So. Is that game that fun?
There we go. There
it depends.
Go back. Every time I open up the game, all of a sudden Discord goes silent.
Like,
and I have to like go in and click the thing, even though it says that it's going to my headphone. I still have to click it.
Huh.
That's weird.
That's
different and
to
fun.
answer your
oh my
question,
God.
Horseman, I have a very strong love-hate relationship with this game. I have some really, really, really fun times, and then I have some really shitty times in this game that make me rage uninstall it. This is my most uninstalled and reinstalled game probably.
What if that was a stat that Steam or like that
Xbox
gaming system tracked?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
this
what I mean?
would
Like,
be
what if
it
they're
for
just
me. Because the community is one of the absolute most toxic communities in online games I've ever experienced.
I gotta change my clothes, so I'm gonna be a hot minute. 1 second.
So it's just like you could be having a great time, and then just some salty, toxic asshole can like ruin your entire night.
Yeah, Ghost. It's obviously
number of reinstallations.
Pixel's never played Dead by Daylight.
Do we have yeah, you do.
That's a rough game.
You got a crate, I see. So like
yeah, I've only tried playing it once. I didn't love it.
I don't need to cuss out teens. Yeah. I don't think
actually,
it's really
teenagers,
honestly.
I don't know if I told you this, but I mean, I'm pretty even keeled in my opinion. And the other week, it's about a week ago, I think. I actually cussed somebody out in Sea of Thieves.
Really?
Oh.
They were so toxic and annoying that I lost my shit. I lost my shit. I was playing with my boy Shorty. We were doing the thing. We were doing a lot of testing. We were just, what? Why? Why, game?
Why'd it happen?
What happened? I don't know. It's doing the thing with the thing, and I'm doing the thing. It's like saying, hey,
he played with
he's
really young. He got shit from so many people, and he played with a controller on PC to boot. It was so satisfying watching him frag. The people who, yeah.
That was weird. So, basically, we were doing some testing with the new dives. We're like, oh, we want to see what happens when we do this. We want to see what happens when we do that. So we were doing an event, and it was a Veil, an Athena Veil, and we were doing it, and it was fine. And we noticed somebody off in the distance, kind of heading our direction, and we were like, oh, you know, they're probably gonna come over here and try to touch our no-no square, and then it's fine. It's Sea of Thieves. It is what it is. So, I hope I didn't lose my storage crate. I just bought that.
You didn't.
Surely it would be there.
I don't know. I just got booted from the game.
Yes, it's dropped right here. I see it.
Oh, nice. So it's like, okay, whatever. We were expecting the worst. We're like, if they come over here and try to mess with us, that's the game. So it's whatever. And so we're just kind of like chilling and doing the event, and next thing I know, as expected, they roll up.
I don't want to interrupt, but also Squints, like that person could evolve into something else later in the book too, possibly.
Squints?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. So it's like, yeah, whatever. You know, they engage as we expect, and we're doing the thing. We're doing the back and forth. Like, okay, we shoot them, they shoot me. We shoot them, they shoot me. You know, zip zop zoody bop. And yeah, you know, and we're just better than them. We were just better than them. I'm gonna put it simple. We were just better than them. You know,
Right.
the fight wasn't going very well in their favor. They were pulling out, coming
As
back
it
in.
happens sometimes.
Yeah, you know, it's just that sometimes you start a fight and you're like, oh, this isn't going the way I thought it was gonna go. We should probably leave. So they'd start to leave, and then they turn around and come back, and we're like, oh, okay, then just if you want to continue, then let's just finish this and stop wasting our time. So we finally get into position. We start sinking them. They're talking smack. All right, they're like, oh, you guys suck, and we're like, we literally just beat you. Like we beat you. I don't think you know what you're talking about. And they're just like, no, you suck. And it's like,
No,
we
no,
literally,
you suck.
like we sink them, and they're like, oh, are you happy now? And I'm like, bruh. I was like, come on. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you came over here. You sailed halfway across the map to come poke me in my event that I'm running right now. And then you're getting mad at me for dying? Because I killed you? What am I just supposed to be like, oh, my bad. Here's your loot, sir. Please smack me on the ass. Would you like a... Like, like what? Like what? I was like, what do they expect me to? Like, no. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So then they came back.
Oh, they always come back, which is the worst.
I was like, come on,
They're
man.
such idiots.
So, but Shorty and I handled it perfectly because Shorty was rolling up. We were trying to sell the big loot, and the next thing you know, they're rolling up on us. He jumps off the boat. I'm like, Shorty, hit him with the harpoon, the sovereign harpoon.
Yeah.
So, as they drive by the boat, oh, we gotta go raise guild. As they drive by the boat, Shorty hits him with the harpoon. Now they're full sail, going full speed, trying to catch up with me. They turn hard into the island. They beach themselves, which put a bunch of hole in them. He's literally just bombing them from up by the harpoons because now they're parked by sovereigns.
Yeah.
And they're still talking smack. They're like, oh yeah, you bet you feel real good about yourself.
I'm so
right
annoyed.
Now.
Like.
I'm like, exactly. I got to the point where I was like, fuck you, fuck off. I was like, you fucking started this. I was like, I don't fucking give a shit what you gotta fucking say. I was going off. I was like, I think my thumb was, because I don't have toggle on. I have push to talk in Sea of Thieves, and my thumb was like in pain. Like my thumb hurt afterwards because I was pressing down push the talk button so hard. I was like,
oh no,
fuck you.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, for chaos to snap, yeah.
Yeah,
Mark, thank you.
I just can't believe this is even happening right now. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
A samosa, pie, and ice cream. Go to bed. Aw, sorry that you're feeling icky, Azarl. It's no fun.
Oh no.
I know.
All right, where did the storage crate go? You still storage crating?
No, I did it. Everything's away and it's up front right here.
Broseph. Bro, what do you do? Bro,
what's that? What's that?
That's for the trip.
Broseph!
You can't drink it all now. It's for the trip.
Oh no, Broseph's gonna
What's
be
up?
puking all over the place.
Did you get darker?
We have more than enough.
Broseph gets
Don't worry
darker
about it.
every time we play the game.
Don't worry.
Do you
Don't worry
have
about
something
it.
important to say?
That's why.
Okay,
I drink so
Arhan,
much.
what's up? Yes.
All right, so.
How's Jedi Survivor? I haven't played it yet.
That's my liver dying. That's why I get so dark all the time.
Try not to get offended by that.
I love you.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you some of the new stuff.
I can't hear. I have a Terry. Hold on.
I'm stuck. I can't get
Did you do something with your face?
Okay, what?
Me?
No, your face. No, you're.
You get
just dark.
darker every time you play. Yeah, I know.
Right, something's different about Pixel's face. Did your eyes get further apart?
I didn't change my character, if that's what you mean.
Oh no! I fell off the boat. Help me.
So, we're gonna do a dive. We're gonna dive to a fort. We're gonna fort dive.
I don't know what any of that means, but okay, let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna learn it. We're gonna learn it.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Dragon
No,
Prince
I mean,
fans?
get
Yes.
Get on the boat.
I'm trying so hard. Okay, I'm on the boat. I'm in the deck. I'm fine. I'm not even
Joseph's already
vomiting
drunk and
anymore.
left the boat, I
Evolving
know.
Consum, thank you for that. 47 months in a row. That's ridiculous.
I ain't even
I love
vomiting
you.
anymore.
Thank you. Kisses.
Kisses.
Okay, so I'm gonna come down to the captain's table here. I'm gonna pick a thing about.
You love that show, Archon? I've only watched the first 2 seasons.
How many times have I shot myself out of a cannon? Not as much as I'd like, actually. Not as much as I'd like, Pon.
Give me the ability to put trinkets down? Question mark? Ooh woo?
Ooh, woo.
Ooh, woo.
Ooh woo?
Okay,
I don't
so
wanna
we
look
are
at
gonna
this.
do a sea fort.
Fork.
Yes, but we're going to dive to it. It's gonna
The
be really cool.
Doris elf.
Now here's what I want you guys to do, because this is really cool. This is really cool. I really love
Arhan,
this.
I have to
found out
know.
that this
I
was a
have to
thing.
know
So if one of
what
you actually,
ending you
Rosa,
got in Baldur's Gate. You
stay
can
there.
DM me.
Nope.
What
no,
ending you got in
stay.
Baldur's Gate and what you
underneath the
thought.
boat,
What you
'cause you're
thought
gonna fall off.
about it now that you finished
I
it.
no, I'm not
Visually.
wiggling anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we're gonna start sailing. If somebody wants to
You
stand
got
up
rage.
here,
That's what I got. You got the
while
rage
we
ending. So
commence
did you
the
get the in
dive,
my
just
name
look
ending?
straight out. And then
In
also, if somebody
my
wants to get in the
name.
crow's nest, that's fine too. But it's just really cool. It's really cool.
Okay, I'll go in the quote.
It's such a cool visual. I think you guys would really enjoy it. I know I did. I was like, holy shit, that was the coolest thing ever.
Is
I'm
it like
very excited?
Pirates of the Caribbean?
I know. It'll probably not be as cool as I'm describing it, but
It probably is cooler. Even.
Apparently, I hit E while I was climbing somehow.
it's a good time. It's fun.
Okay, I'm here. I'm fine. Did you say Pirates of the Caribbean? Did I say it like that? Sometimes I say it like that to be goofy, but yeah.
All right, we're almost there.
Or did I say pirates?
I haven't played this game in so long. This is so nice.
Whee!
Ooh, that's
Here we
cute.
go.
Oh my god! Oh!
Oh, that's so cool!
Oh my god!
That is cool.
Wait for it. Just wait for it. Don't move.
Oh.
Stay where you are.
Okay,
Oh, they pulled me out of
Here we
the.
are.
They pulled me out of the. What you call it though?
All right,
That
let's
was
do
so
this.
fun.
Okay.
Womp.
My ship's broken.
'Cause
Wait,
it's
is it
about
not
to
supposed to
get
go
even
down?
cooler.
It's not supposed to go under the water. I typed you an essay after I finished in chat. Yes.
As we suddenly black screen and the game ends. Like, damn it!
Yeah. The end.
I finished it enough times on stream.
Alright,
that
you
I think
ready?
They all know.
Oh my. Yeah.
I believe I can fly.
Whee! Oh my god! Ooh, spoosh.
That's very Pirates of the Caribbean.
Really?
They got some trademark infringement here. I need to call
Right? It was
Disney.
pretty cool.
I need to call Disney.
That was neat. Wait, is it? Was that it? Did we do it?
That was it.
That was it. We did
Well,
it.
now we're at a fort.
You were here.
Oh,
See?
but you like dive on the way to it. That's so weird.
What is this, witchcraft? It's exactly
Neat.
that, witchcraft.
What a neat addition.
Neato Beto.
Yeah, so now when you first start, it's easier to get into the stuff that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool, though. So, like, you don't have to sail all the way to the forts
Cool.
now. You can just
And,
dive.
Very
yeah.
cool.
Wait, is that how it
Very,
works?
very cool.
So you don't have to, like... Oh, they can't hear
And
me.
you can choose.
I didn't
pretty
realize
much
that
choose a
you
fact
guys
to dive for.
didn't hear me the whole time. I was making jokes, and I was like, I'm calling Disney for copyright infringement, blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
I mean, they kind
so...
of already have a deal with Disney.
I know, but I was
so-
making jokes that didn't get heard because I was talking to chat for like a split second and I forgot. Anyways, so
Well,
does
if
this?
chat didn't hear it, it didn't happen. So as long as chat heard it, you're good.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So does this just like instead of sailing over to the forts, it just like brings us there? It's the same fort on the
Yeah.
open seas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it changes our server for us.
Okay.
So we
Oh.
are on a different server technically.
Uh huh. Oh shit! I thought better.
And yeah, it kind of just gets you right into the action as opposed to.
Yeah. Oh my god, I haven't played Sea of Thieves in so long. I'm such a bad shot right now. Need ammo. Sorry.
Armo.
Armor.
I'm grabbing food because I immediately hurt myself when I got onto the
Hurt
island.
I hurt
myself
myself
again.
today.
Today.
Hopper's doing good. It was a nice warm day today, so he was outside for a good chunk of the day.
Ooh.
Yeah. He likes to just sit on the patio and just squint out and look in the sun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did anyone grab a storage crate?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it
we have
with me right here.
Nice.
I'm about to go down.
Get in the
Gotta
woods
get out, yeah.
right now. Giggity.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I get you.
Thank you.
Oh no, now I have been hit. No, you messed it up, you stupid ghosts! You stupid goats! Now I am dead.
It is okay.
Are you saying ghosts or goats?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Correct.
That is correct.
You know, what if people encountered animal ghosts? And like, you know how there's like screaming goats?
Oh god.
Just like, we're haunted by like a screaming goat ghost.
That would be amazing.
That'd be horrible. What do you mean?
I mean, would it though?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, so the other thing about dives is that I chose Athena faction for our dive.
Uh-huh.
So all of the loot on this fort
Hi, duckling.
is going to be Athena loot, and it counts towards
Your
your
hood is
you know,
hooding?
rep.
Fine. No hoodies. No hoodies.
Pond, how are you, by the way? How is you? How is Sly? How is everyone?
How's everyone?
Sir.
Oh my gosh, who's hitting me? Why you hit me? I'm just here to kill you and rob you. Why you hit me?
I missed.
Are we still looking for the thing? The key?
Yep.
Okay.
Storage crate. Oh, here it is.
Oh jeez.
Music is so unnecessarily intense in here. Got it.
It's intense. Are we camping right
It's
now?
camping.
Oh, hi, duckling. Yeah, you got caught in the mid-rolls. I do that so there's no pre-rolls, but you happen to get caught in them.
Oh, I forgot to run a mid-roll. Everyone's getting pre-rolled tonight.
Oop. Yay, you! I know, bad timing. I'm sorry, duckling, but I'm happy you're here. How are you? My day was good.
Did you open the door?
I'm opening right now.
I don't have key.
Wait, what's
Pink
this?
still has key, I thought.
Requires key
Pink
to unlock, and it's
key.
literally in my hand.
The upstairs one.
The upstairs one
Oh.
is the one you have.
Oh. Can you tell it's been a while since I've done this?
It's been a while.
Since
I sell cheese. Been a thief, yeah. No, it's over here.
Yeah, stop yelling at me!
Yeah.
Do you want me to yell at you?
Stop yelling at me.
We yell.
Stop yelling at me.
I yell.
Okay, let's put it in the books here. Oh, you dropped it here?
I did.
Okay.
Oh,
Sirs.
hello. I
Sirs.
shoot you. Ooh.
Ah. Saved your life, Chaos.
I have no bullet. Give me gun ammo, please.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I got that. There we go. Oh, my neck still hasn't cracked and it's been like days. Ah.
Everything's fine. Did you guys grab the storage crate up there?
No.
You had a good day yesterday. What happened yesterday? America Snacks, let us know what they were. Yes, we must know.
It's okay. I can.
Okay. Okay.
Samosa.
Samosa.
Apple pie and ice cream. Oh man, apple pie and ice cream sounds so fucking good right now. I might order some while it's still early.
He's downstairs.
Are you taking on a date for your anniversary? Aww. Where did you go? What not what happened. Don't tell me.
What happened?
No,
Don't tell me.
Don't
tell me. I meant like dinner, a movie, like what'd you do? Japanese and Korean place for lunch? Amazing. That sounds good. I had Korean for the first time last week too.
Korean BBQ?
So good.
It wasn't BBQ, it was just Korean. Give.
Did you have kimchi?
I did not. I just had fried rice. I didn't even
Korean
have pho.
fried rice? I feel like they use a lot of ginger in their fried rice.
It was very gingery, but it was very good. Be good. I didn't want to know. What was his name, Pink? No, it was a work lunch meeting actually. Are these all emptied? Looks like it.
The boss is alive.
Alive. TJ Maxx, I can find some Winnie the Pooh. Aww.
Oh,
Did they have them? I didn't even, like, is that like a TJ Maxx exclusive thing? Because I didn't even know that.
I hear so many spawns, but I see no one.
That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
Right
I'm just
in the
waiting
booty.
for the screaming goat ghosts.
Right. Ah, I got shot in the booty hole.
No.
And how did that make your booty hole feel?
Not good. Oh, Bursif also got shot in the booty hole. I just watched it.
I'm dead.
Yeah, as they were rezzing me.
We are dead together.
Yeah. Live together, die together.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother!
That's so exciting, Duckling. I'm happy for you. Your sister sent you a reel about them being new. If they're new, they probably got sold out real quick. That's how that trend stuff seems to work.
Hadouken!
Hadouken.
A Zatu in chat. Okay.
Oh.
Zoom! Got him.
Nice.
Like a boss. Let me just kiss myself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the
Like
most humble
boss.
pirate.
Yes, so
Well, I want to name a
humble.
boat Humble
Aw.
Pie now.
I would like some pie of just any kind, honestly, at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I'm like an old man now, but like, I like sour things. I mean, I've always liked sour things, but I'm like really,
Where does this change to?
really going out of my way for the sour stuff. Like, if I could get
Does
some
this
like
actually change
key
to
lime
this?
pie or some lemon meringue, I would be pretty happy.
No, that's a hook. So they hooked it into him? Is that how it is? It's hooked?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hooked into him.
But how did they hook that to him? Did they do it while he was still alive and hook it right into his bones like that?
Yeah,
'Cause,
probably.
Oh,
And then, yeah, and then he died this way, yeah.
I don't like.
You're really happy how it fits you? I will definitely look, and I'm sure I will give you lots of love. Because you deserve it. How come I can't take these and sell them? Do you have
That's
the
so good.
storage crate?
There's a storage crate upstairs, I believe.
Ooh, look at all the purple.
Yeah, this is all Athena loot.
Neat.
The super hard faction to grind. So here's the thing about the dives, though. We can't dive with treasure on our boat. Well, we could, but we'd lose all the treasure.
Yeah.
Empty only.
So
Okay.
you sail back with it, yeah.
So as long as we sell the treasure as we get it, we can dive as many times as you want.
Okay.
Now, depending on what faction you dive, determines on what events you can go. There is just more.
Oopsies, it happened.
Hey, Disney is obsessed with it. Didn't have a problem.
So yeah, my Athena's not high enough to do like Athena, whatever's, thingamabobs, the fleets.
Oh, I didn't think seeing red was that bad. Is that what you're talking about, Squints?
Seeing red, is that the panda movie?
Yeah, where she's in, like, instead of like getting her period, she turns into a red panda.
So that's not what happens to all women?
Yes, exactly.
That's how I knew I wasn't a woman. I did not turn into a red panda.
You didn't turn into a panda? Ugh.
No. No dick and no pandaing. God damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
The worst of both worlds.
It's all the world's worstnesses.
No problem, Duckling. Enjoy. She's 5 and it's a movie about coming of age. And I mean, I get it, but she's also a girl. Like, does she not know what periods are? I feel like at 5 years old, I knew what periods were. Like, I didn't understand them, but I, like, knew, like, what they, like, I knew that they existed.
I don't think I did.
I mean, I knew they were at the end of the sentence.
I knew somehow that I had to have something to do with making babies. I knew that somehow, like female made babies.
I think
that's all
like,
I knew.
I think like I had just like seen my mom or something, or like my mom like bought pads or something, and I just asked her what they were, and she was like, well.
My son just thinks they're diapers.
But also, I'm not her parent, nor am I a parent, so my opinion doesn't matter. But I thought it was a cute movie.
Yes, DJ, welcome in. We are staying hydrated on the 7 Seas tonight with
something that causes mommy pain every now and then. She's chocolate and wears diapers.
Yeah, I knew I made baby, and I knew I didn't want to. I remember, because I wasn't even in kindergarten by the time I knew that. I was like 4, and I was like, I am not having children. And everyone was like, oh ha 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 ha, that's funny. And then I'm 40, and I'm like, I am not having children. Everyone's like, okay, we get it.
It is I get it, Squints. I get it. I get what you're saying.
I see. It's funny.
Again, I'm not a parent, so my opinion
4,
really
but
doesn't matter.
I remember distinctly at the age of 10.
Yeah.
Actually, sitting in my home with my parents and
realistically, she probably doesn't get.
And I had proclaimed that
yet.
I could not wait to become a father.
Oh. Well, there you go.
And now look at me.
Oh my
Look at you
gosh.
now.
I'm
Just can't
poor.
stop popping them out.
Oh, it's gonna, the stoppening, as I'm gonna call it, the stoppening is happening.
The stoppening is upon us.
It's gonna be.
The Verstappening.
DJ says hello, by the way.
Hello.
Hi, DJ.
Those horror movies. Wondering how that popped up. Because it is because it's a kids Disney movie. That's why it's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not coming up because it's being recommended to her from anything. It's coming up quite literally just because it's a Disney movie and she watches other Disney movies.
Are they like, so you don't want to watch this?
Yeah, it's just a Disney Pixar movie, and you know, like, there's a big difference between a 5-year-old and like an 8-year-old. You know, like an 8-year-old probably knows more, a 10-year-old probably knows more, but like a 5-year-old watching it is not gonna get the same message from
school
it.
in grade 5, but I know that I knew about it before that. I knew about like periods before.
I probably
grade
just don't
5,
understand
but we
it
learned
yet.
out in grade 5.
Is someone getting cut?
So I would have been 11 when I officially learned about it, but I knew about it before that, but I don't know when. I don't remember when I officially knew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it just so happened that like my mom like bought pads from the store or something, and I was just like, "What are these?" And she's like, "Well,
What are those?
no problem, Squints."
Where'd all the loot go?
The loot? I have the
you put it
storage
here.
crate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right here.
I was like, I moved like one thing, and I was
threw
like,
it over
hey,
Well, you said we
old
couldn't
boy?
dive with it, so I just tossed it overboard. I would rather dive.
Yeah. Oh God.
You did this. Wait, who's on fire?
It was me,
Why?
because I got struck by lightning.
Oh,
Oh,
my gosh.
don't do that.
Yeah, silly goose. What are
I'm
you
gonna
doing
do it
that
again.
for?
Silly goose.
Yeah, silly. What are you doing that for?
Silly goose.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, I'm
that's
just goosing it.
Carl. That kills people.
Coral. That kills people, Carl.
Carl, that kills people.
Coral. We're playing Sea of Thieves. You have to say coral.
I said coral. That kills people.
Coral.
Coral. Coral actually does kill people though.
Yeah, he definitely did some killings.
No, I actually mean coral.
Oh,
Yeah, that
coral's
too.
very painful.
Yeah, if you get like pulled under like in a wave and you get up against coral, you're shredded. You're done for.
Oh, one time. Okay, so you know those little what are they called? Razor mussels or something like that?
Barnacles?
No. We have them in fresh water. We have a like a infestation of them in some of our lakes, and they're these tiny little mussels. They're very tiny. But no, they're so sharp. We were out with the dog, just like wading around in the water, and I accidentally slipped and fell onto a batch of them. And every time I tried to push myself up, I could feel them slicing into my hands, and they were slicing into my knees, and I was just shredded. Like my hands, my knees, my leg, everything was shredded.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
on a quest.
it was the
Ooh,
worst.
I hate that. Yeah, I have I think I told this story not even that long ago. I have a pretty gnarly scar on my ankle from going crabbing and getting pushed up against a barnacle.
Can you vote on the quest on the captain's table?
I'm sorry, I'm literally like having a very important conversation.
I was just running to go
Wait,
get water.
I don't need this. I'm just voting. How do I vote? Thank you. I don't need to read the how to use thing. How to use the new system.
The new quest system.
Crawdaddies?
Nope.
Ooh, yucky.
Oh, so I think today or this weekend, I don't know how long they're doing it for. So just keep an eye on some interesting, like special looking bottles. You just find them randomly on islands and stuff.
Okay.
Because if you do like 10 of them, you get something special.
Do 10 of them what? Do 10 of the
10.
missions that are in
Like-
the
like
bottles?
Yeah, whatever the
okay.
bottle says to do.
Okay. Coo, coo,
Oh my
coo.
god.
Like, give you
Special
something
thing? I like special thing.
Special.
My gosh. Azarel was talking about pie, and now I want pie, so I'm ordering pie. I'm sorry, guys.
Now,
I'm getting
lemon squares
apple
would be
caramel
pretty
pie.
Nope, right now.
What would?
Lemon squares.
Oh, I would fuck a lemon square so hard right now.
Did you just say you would
Yes.
Can you hit the
Okay.
anchor, please?
anchor? Oh, I'm not. I'm downstairs. Hold on.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
God, it's okay.
I just realized how close we were to the island we needed to be at.
Whee! This is my favorite part of the whole game ever. I love this.
Anchor turning.
Anchor up.
Anchor up,
Uppies?
please.
Uppies?
Uppies.
Cebu plat.
Uppies?
Oh, you know what? I think you know what we have to get out, right?
3 people could raise the
Our
anchor.
pussies?
Our pussies.
We have
Chaos.
to get
We
our
have to get our
pussies.
pussies out.
Well then. I
on.
chose the right boat.
Yeah. Well, it seems I've
Val.
entered the right voyage today.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Where did I get a monkey?
I don't know.
Where did I
So
get
now
a
you're
goddamn
Well,
silver
then you're like,
mean
we gotta go
blueberry
get our
from?
pussies out. Where did this monkey come from?
Where does this monkey come from? I have to
Don't
get a
ask
new kitty
questions.
cat. I want to
You
get
can't,
a
Horseman.
black kitty cat for Sunny.
Horseman, you don't have to ask. You can clip anything.
Clip everything. Pink loves it when you just clip. If you clip over and over and over and over, that's Pink's favorite thing. When you just clip and clip and clip and clip and clip, and then she has to wade through like 30 clips.
It's my favorite.
That's her favorite. Ice scoochies.
You know what's my absolute favorite is when somebody clipped me standing up so that they could look at my butt and then tried to lie to me several times saying that they didn't clip it and they would never clip something like that, and I was like, it literally fucking says your name, and they were like, no, I would never do that. I would never clip something like that. I was like, it says your name, and it was a 3-second clip, so you edited it because clips are 30 seconds if you don't edit them, and it has your name on it. Don't lie to me, and now you're banned.
And now you're banned.
And now you're banned.
And that's why I can't watch Pink's streams anymore.
That's why you don't see chaos in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, we can't do that? No, you're not. That's the only thing I'm not allowed to clip.
It's okay. Have you guys ever seen the top viewed clip for Diablo 4?
No.
No.
It's like Amaranth doing a split or something. I guess she just happened to be in the Diablo 4 category, so it is forever categorized.
Well, why am I holding?
Diablo
Oh my
4.
god, my idiot character! No, I'm not. Oh my god,
You know, like,
my character deserves it when I died in 5 seconds.
Oh no! If somebody else takes the clip, you can't change it. I was gonna say you can change the.
No,
game
what
on
are you
the clip,
doing, you
but
idiot?
Not if someone else takes it.
My character keeps pulling out fruit instead of my weapons.
She's really hungry.
Just hit him with a banana.
You dumb bitch!
Where's the ammo
Hey,
chest
the
here?
captain's up.
Shit! Leave me alone. You ammo? No, you're chicken. Are you ammo? You're ammo. Nice. Okay. Come on, don't do it. Damn it. Dang it!
Woohoo! You gotta die. This guy, last bullet, you gotta die. Yeah. Yeah. I win! Yay! We did it, guys. Guys, where'd you go?
We're all dead.
We're dead.
Why would you go do a thing like that?
We're all dead.
We all float down here.
I'm actually watching it. So that's so funny you said that. I have it on just like in the background.
Yeah, it's because I'm.
What are you watching?
It.
I know, but like what?
Oh no, I'm watching it.
I know, but like what?
Oh, you know, like it. You know, like it.
Like how
Oh
can
my
I
god,
watch
like
more
are
of
you watching
something if I
like
haven't
the
had
TV?
any
Are
to
you
begin
watching
with?
like a movie? Like what do you watch? Like I know, you just keep saying.
Well, you know, it's
Oh no,
a,
Pixel's a skeleton
it's a movie.
forever.
Okay. I was joking.
It's a movie, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm watching it,
I know, but like what?
you know. It.
Okay, Broseph. Keep your secrets then.
Just don't tell us then.
Just keep your secrets.
Hi,
creature, how are you?
I've kept no secrets. I've kept no secrets.
I'm just turning the boat around a little because I see a shipwreck behind us.
Ooh.
Creature, how you doing? How's the weekend?
Creature. Don't answer her. She doesn't have a warrant.
It's true. You have
You're telling me
rights.
what to do. You're not my real dad.
You have rights.
You have rights.
You're
Let
right.
us go over your rights.
Probably stolen it. Almost as stressful as your week, though. Woo! It's over, though, right? Exactly. It's over. Dust your shoulders off. It's over.
It's over.
It's over!
It's over.
Guys,
What is it
I
from?
cannot stop playing Supermarket Sim. Like it's.
Yeah, I saw that you were playing that. And
I can't stop. Like I
can't
literally
imagine shopping in a video game.
No. You don't shop in it. You run the supermarket in it.
That sounds worse.
I think I'd like to shop. Can I come shop in your supermarket?
Oh
Are we
man,
gonna hit
I
this
wish it
rock?
was co-op.
No, we're not gonna hit the rock.
But anyways, I quite literally was like timing it, and I was like, "Can I get one more day of business before I need to stream? Like,
shoot it.
Can I time this perfectly? And can I get a whole another day of business before I need to stream?" Like, and now Brit's playing it, and I was like, I like looked over and I saw that she was playing it. And I was like, "Oh, I want to play it."
Are you having some FOMO right now? You're like, I could be sporting the green
I could be
beans.
supermarket simulatoring right now. Oh, I haven't even unlocked green beans yet. No.
Oh.
Pink's over here at the beginning of
Simpsons
the
are
stream going,
pretty
"You
in
never
that
want to
post.
sail with me," and now she's just talking about her ex game right now, right in front
Wow.
of her current game. Jeez.
I have no idea where
Whatever.
my
You
cat
were
went.
quite literally telling me about your adventures the other night.
Oh? What adventures?
When he cussed out the small children playing Sea of Thieves
Oh,
with him.
Oh no,
yeah.
they were definitely not children.
You can't prove
Okay,
that.
they may have been kids, but no, because I
Wait.
went to their home afterwards. I mean,
That's
Why are you
illegal.
under the... Oh, because
what?
we're at the
Never-
shore.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Chaos, that's illegal. You can't do that.
I
No,
heard
you're
nothing.
not saying it
so-
right. It's legal.
No, it's illegal.
With an-
It's
with an
not
L.
No, it's
legal.
illegal as in it's a legal thing to do.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. That's
it's
what I'm saying.
not legal. It is
Not
against the law.
illegal?
That's
Like, so
what
legal
against
means like
the
I'm not
law
allowed.
means.
Legal means I'm allowed to do it, right?
Yeah.
No.
So that's
Legal
what we're
means you're
saying,
allowed
it's
to do it.
legal.
Yeah.
I didn't kill no eagle.
What that?
I can't prove that.
Is that treasure?
Is killing... Oh my god, there's a shark. Ah,
I
look
can't
at
get
this.
it.
It's pretty.
I can't
it's
get
pretty.
it. I can't
I'm
get it.
coming. I'm coming. The shark is here. I'm coming. Look at it. Look at
I
brought you
was
a pretty
trying
box.
to get it.
I brought you a pretty box.
But
Look
I
at my
was
pretty box for you.
That actually is like gorge.
I know, right?
We're not
I brought
selling
it
this
just for
because I
you.
want it.
I said, here, I'm getting this for Pinkswell, and I took it.
Yeah, that's not how that happened, but it's okay. I
That's
appreciate the thought.
exactly how it happened.
I
Goodbye.
appreciate that there's two sharks that you just jumped right in front
Am
of.
I wearing a sweater? Yes. Well, I'm wearing a hoodie.
Did you take food and drinks with you? He always does.
I indeed.
You're not my dad with angry pixel faces. Do you want the do you want my rage emote? Like, do you want like this? Where is it?
I should take it off. I know.
Why can't I
Everybody's
see
probably
my
just
own
used to
fucking
me
emotes?
streaming
Here it is.
half naked.
Like, do you want like
and
this
here I
one?
am wearing clothes.
Or do you just want like emojis like this?
If you guys
Why
could
am I typing
rename
like that?
emojis to anything
Which
else, like
one?
what would you rename them to?
Faces.
Emoticons.
Faces? Emoticon? No, emoticons
I
are
guess they're
something
not just
different.
faces. They're not just faces.
Emoticons are the text emotes.
I know. That's what I would say.
Yaga will be playing with us.
Yes, later. You want the angry pinks, my emote? Okay.
Wait, how do I get in here? Oh my god.
There's so many sharks out here. I see 4 right now.
Yeah, they did something, and they've actually acknowledged it. They're like, yeah, we acknowledge that something in our update made the sharks go crazy. And there's a
They're
lot
like
of
double
sharks now."
spawning. They're like in groups of 2. So I think they're
Yeah,
literally just double spawning.
They spawn like instantly now. They used to like wait like maybe 3-4 minutes, and now it's just like the second your little toesies touch the water, it's like, oh no, sharks.
That's very
So,
funny
yeah,
and horrifying.
It's no good. Oh, I forgot. I'm in my spooky suit. I gotta be in my not spooky suit.
Alright, this might not be right. I forget. Cooldown amount. Okay, but does it go here? Yeah, there it is. It's done.
Okay, now I have expensive fish, so I can't eat anything else. I gotta come up.
Don't eat the fish.
I'm not eating the fish.
I just put so many chickens in the barrel too.
Look at all those chickens.
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 Where are you guys? Oh, there you are. Hello. Okay, I breathe now.
Any more treasures?
I have
Don't
not
see.
found the treasure. Oh my! Look at all this food.
Hi, Mike. How you doing? Welcome in.
Oh my God! I know a guy named Mike.
Oh, do you?
Mike.
Yeah, he's all right.
There's quite a few people named Mike in the world.
Which mic is this? Hold on. Oh, it's my mod mic. Hello.
So
Hello.
it
I
blasts.
am
Okay.
already on the boat, Mike. Nice try. Nice try, though.
Ever since
$10
the
so
Mike
close.
incident.
Mike incident.
Yeah.
I'm literally right here.
Yeah.
Nice try, though.
Oh shit! Somebody just went.
Lol.
But Brosif will fall off pretty soon, knowing them. So don't worry about it.
Oh no! Somebody just called the ninja. Oh, they got me.
They got you?
Yeah, the ninja got me. Somebody. I heard. Oh, and I'm flipped.
You're flipped? You're flipped over?
Yeah, DJ is having all the fun with all my points.
Oh. Channel points. Oh, Brosif's drinking.
Drinking.
Yeah, they fell over before they left. Yeah, they're drinking again. So they'll fall over, don't worry. Typical. Typical.
I have not drank anything, and I'm not drinking anything currently.
Yeah, they're not
You
slurping.
could probably come down here with. I don't see
Absolutely.
more treasure. I don't see more treasure.
I mean, we got 2 skulls, 2 of the chests, a trident. Oh, no problem.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
DJ's like, I've never noticed all of these buttons below hydrate. What do these do?
Oh, DJ. Oh, Brosif
Goodbye.
fell off.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye forever.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, I need the storage crate. Where's the storage crate at?
Oh, I'm puking under the water. Ew.
Right here.
Where'd the storage crate go?
Right here.
Oh, there it is. Oh. My, Super Saiyan thing is not in the right spot. I'm gonna have to move that. Interesting.
What? What? What are you saying? Russ is puking, I hear it.
Nope. Don't know what you're
Yes,
talking
yes,
about.
yes, yes, I hear it.
Not this guy, not me. Could it be
I
me?
hear it.
Never.
Not this guy.
Welcome back,
I just
Mike.
puked on my cat.
Thank you
Oops.
for watching the
Oh,
ads. I do appreciate it.
Oh, I have to nunchuck. Hold on.
Thank
Hold
you,
on.
everybody who
I
sits
need
through
to.
the ads. You're champs.
I need to. Let me not be underwater. I will nunchuck for you in a moment. Hold on. I'm underwater.
But
I'll
why
let
did you
nunchuck.
take the crate? What are you taking?
Because there's all these supplies down here.
Oh. Well, what did you say when you said your thing wasn't where it's supposed to be?
Oh, I was talking about one of my channel point redemptions. I'm not
Oh.
sure why it moved, but you know it's OBS and streaming.
Oh.
And,
Because
no-
when you picked
anything
it up,
that
I
can
was
go
like,
wrong
"There's
is
nothing
wrong.
in the
So,
box."
I will probably end up dying down here with this thing.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Mm-mm. I'm far too drunk to get you.
I would suggest not. Not doing that, you know?
I'm at least gonna try to get all the stuff first.
Does your... What is this? Does your ship head make, like, ice or mist or something?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
I also have a sloop called Sloop Dog, and I put that on there because it makes it look like it's smoking.
Oh my gosh, I get it, yeah. Why did the music just get scary?
I think it's because I died.
Is it because the red thing in the sky?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was one
Well, I
of
can
the...
uncheck now, real quick.
Is it the red boat in the sky?
No, that was already there.
Oh, hold on.
I don't know why it suddenly got scary. Shit.
The music is like
order bot finally.
What else
did I just turn off? There we go. Okay.
They should add new songs.
They're kind of cool, Wheel. Hi.
Hold on, DJ. I gotta go get that. I gotta go get that crate again. Yeah. And then I'll nunchuck for you, DJ.
Wait, why am I a skeleton to you?
I don't know, cause you died, and that's just a weird glitch that happens sometimes.
No.
You're not to me.
It's very random. If you die again, it will probably fix it.
Well, I don't want to.
Oh, there's the crate.
Life is but a dream.
You don't want to die again, or you don't want to not be a skeleton?
Both of those things simultaneously.
Well, I hate to tell you, but you already have a skeleton?
No, I don't want to be a skeleton, though. It's okay that I own one. That I possess one.
Here's the question, though. Do we own our skeletons?
Do we own them? Do we possess them? Do we inhabit them? Do they inhabit us?
Or does our skeleton inhabit us?
Yeah.
Does the skeleton own the muscles?
No.
My brain hurts.
The muscles definitely own the bones because muscles do the things. But the bones are the support.
Well, brain owns it all, though.
But the bones are the support, so like...
Yeah, you're not getting anything done with the bones.
Alright, I have
yeah,
to show,
imagine if you didn't have
show
bones.
DJ some nunchucking real quick. I've been putting it off for far too long.
Oh, thanks, creature. Not paying rent for it, if that's what he means. Just being nice. No, that's very nice of you. Thank you.
Okay, and here I'll just drop another thing.
I
down
showered.
For a skeleton crew. Yes. Okay, I voted.
Voted?
All right.
Okay.
Switch to big face.
Ported.
Vote. And now Chaos is going to nunchuck. Let's do this one. That's what it is, yeah. That's what happened. Psyduck. There's a Psyduck in chat, guys. Psyduck.
Alright, I'm back.
Hello.
How did it go, Horseman? Did he? I didn't watch.
Switch the game out.
He did good this time? Good.
I never hit my face, Horseman. Except for that one time. And Bandcamp was involved.
Except for that one time.
Switch the game out. Plunder's Plight.
Chaos loves playing with us. We're so helpful.
Yeah,
that's a word for it.
That's a word that is in a language.
We're helping by entertaining.
This is actually a really good song.
It's pretty lit, fam.
It's pretty lit.
Get your lighters out.
No one caught the Psyduck. Rude.
No one catches Psyduck.
Rude. Rude.
I'm everywhere, Horseman.
I'll come back and lurk. No problem, creature. No problem. I'll probably be on for another 2 to 3 hours.
Do you guys want to do like stuff, or do you just want to like?
I want to do stuff. stuff. Like, I don't want to just, like, sail around and, like, look for shipwrecks and stuff. Like, I want to either do forts or events or, like, I want to have an idea.
We could go over to this red thing in the sky. That's a skelly fleet.
Well, we can skelly fleet. Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
But first, we must go to Plunder's Plight and fight skeletons.
Okay.
Hey, brother!
Hey, brother!
Hey, brother. Where's my cat?
Brother.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time somebody asked me that question. Wouldn't be the last time I helped them.
Right.
Both
It's
of
over
our
here.
cats are missing.
Oh.
He's under there.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Kitty kitties.
Oh, I thought I saw there was a cat in the water that we just went by.
They
What?
don't go in the water.
It's not funny.
Even if it would, even if he threw the cats in the water, they don't go in the water, Broseph.
That's not funny.
You did puke on it. That is true. Exactly.
Wait, so hold on. Netflix has it, but not it too.
Oh my God! What?
What?
They're missing it too.
What?
It's on first.
What?
You know what? Hey, does anybody else in chat without looking at the keyboard?
Yes.
Yes.
Or you mean type?
Like without
but yeah.
like, you need to like type without looking at the keyboard.
Yeah.
With my nails, I have to look a little bit.
But to be fair, I've also been typing for
I'm like
30 years.
What a fly.
you know.
So
like,
I'm one of those people. Like, what I typically do is I'll type a little bit, and
Oh,
then
my
like
cat's
I
over
end up
there by
looking
Chaos.
down,
My
like
cat's
a few,
over there.
every few seconds, I'll be like,
I see it.
clickety clack, 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 clickety clack, 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 clickety clack. Look, all right, I'm good. Clickety clack, 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 clack. And a lot of times, what ends up happening is I'll be typing. I know it's a skill issue, Sly. It's got to get good. I'll be typing, and then I'll notice for some reason, none of my fault, by the way, that the words that I'm typing out are coming out incorrect. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And then I'll look
Definitely
down and
not
I'm
your
like,
fault.
oh, it's because I've shifted too far to the left or right.
Well, that's
But
why the
who
F
turned
and
this-
the J got to have the little nubbies.
That's true. That's true. I rubbed the nubs down.
No,
and then
don't rub the nubs.
so, but it's like you ever just like start typing something out and you realize all your words are wrong and you look down and you're just like, who flipped this keyboard over?
Who moved all the keys over by one?
Happens to me all the time. I also move my keyboard around a lot though. Like it's kind of like sitting at like where my desk meets itself.
we
Like
got
'cause
the
it's an
bunch
L
of
desk
desk.
meat?
skeletons to
You have
fight
desk meat?
skeletonists.
I have desk meat. Yes. Yes. Look at my desk meat.
You
I
shouldn't
can't
keep
talk
your
about my desk
meats.
meat on Twitch. I'd get banned.
You guys,
Oh.
both of you, shouldn't keep your meats at your desk. You should put your meats probably in the fridge.
Desk meat.
In the fridge.
Yeah, desk meats just don't sound good.
Like, they don't always have to be in the fridge though. You know, like
I
sometimes they can be
mean,
preserved outside of.
Do
the
you? I'm
fridge
sorry. Do you salt and preserve your desk meats?
Sometimes.
It's
Sometimes I just really
typically
like
comes
good salted desk meat.
pre-salted, but you know, not everybody can afford a good salt.
Wow.
Yeah, you do need a good salt.
You know? Do you have a good salt connection? And you know a good salt guy?
The salt.
Well, we are on the ocean.
You got a good salt guy?
The
Don't you eat
salty.
that banana?
Oh, this one's kind of cool, Chaos. You see this one? It's red, orange, red. Red? Orange? I don't fucking know what color this
Nope.
is supposed to be.
I
Yeah,
think that's green.
that's not
I think
green.
that's
It's
green
either
and orange.
it's.
What?
Yeah, this is orange though, right? Yeah, that's orange. So yeah, green and orange. That one's kind of cute.
Oh, I'm picking my pants right now, guys. I know everybody watching my stream is like, yes, this is.
Broseph, Broseph, Broseph. From Franklin.
Oh, Franklin! Sorry, I'm not looking at chat at the moment just because I have to kill things. There's death to be had, and I must do it.
First code. Okay.
I'm gonna go with chat.
So then try something else.
Like
Narrative
chats.
game. You can talk him out of the crown. I've never given Gale the crown.
Gale. One day
Yeah,
I'll
there was
plug this
one
game.
playthrough where he was a jerk and he insisted that he was going to go get it and that I was just short-sighted. And I was like, oh, okay then.
That's
And
so
then-
weird. I've never given Gale the crown. I've always been
And then
like, this
and then he
isn't a
shows
good
up
idea.
ascended.
I've changed my outfit. I'm less spooky.
That's wild. The game, like, it still ends up being so wildly different for everybody. No matter, like, how many times, like, I've seen people play and stuff. He takes it, yeah.
How are you,
but,
Sly? Hope you're doing well,
but
by the way.
he's never done that for me.
Hey.
I've never, like, I've always, like, been like, no, it's not a good idea, like, we're not doing it. That's wild.
One day you play Baldur. One day you play Cyberpunk.
Indulged him to research it. I got the book from Sorcerer Sundays and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But we also had the conversation about my Halcyon being super duper bugged. Like, my Halcyon was like a sexual predator. And everyone was like, he respects boundaries. And I was like, whose? Not mine.
Political boundaries.
So it just happens sometimes, I guess. Different conversations or different things or different triggers or I really don't know. Okay, look at what, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I also, Bubbles and I just finished our playthrough together.
Eagles.
And because we called it our experimental playthrough because we specifically tried to do actions or choices that either neither of us had done, or like if there's only two choices, like it was like, you know, which one did you do, which one did you do, and then just kind of figure out which one.
Y'all gonna Dragon Dogma?
I don't know if I'll Dragon's Dogma. Bubbles and I started in honor mode of Baldur's Gate, and we have to go really, really, really slow. We've almost died twice now, and we're like, okay, time to go slow.
Mod.
But
a Subnautica co-op mod. Have you ever done that, Pinksel?
I have not done the co-op mod, but I want to. Because I feel like Subnautica could be really cool co-op. But I feel like it also kind of like part of the isolation is like part of the narrative of the game. But will you Dragon D's nuts?
D's nuts.
Dragon D's nuts. Is Dragon's Dogma 1
Gobble?
like, is it old? Is it good? Like, should I play the first one? Should I just go like just dive into the second one? Because that's what I did with Baldur's Gate. I bought Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and I literally watched like the little trailer thing on Steam, and I was like, oh. Broseph, tell Wifelin you guys eat snow syrup.
What?
Wifelin doesn't believe that Canadians put maple syrup in the snow and make popsicles.
Oh, yeah. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
and it
snow,
freezes, and you
snow
kind of
makes it
dig out in the snow that you dug.
Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 is different and not even close. Yeah, no, I
You
know,
can, like,
but I
put
wanted
a little
the story.
stick in with it if you want.
I wanted the story.
Yeah, but can you say it in like a Canadian accent, please? Thanks.
So you take the that old maple syrup there, and you find yourself a good patch of snow. You don't want no yellow snow there, eh? No yellow snow there, eh?
No yellow snow, eh?
Just the brown snow from the syrup.
Yeah, you only want your snow being brown once the syrup gets on it there. Then you take your maple syrup and you pour it. You take it and you pour it out there.
Can you drop front sails while you do the Canadian shtick?
Yes.
Because I see.
And then you take a little stick there
right
and you shove the stick in with the you know, the syrup there and
I'll have to look.
watch out for hosers because you don't want no hosers taking your
Let's
syrup.
see how much it is on the Keys. The Keys, because that's the only place that I buy my.
Long weekend.
It's actually really good though. Yeah,
This is
tell
a small,
Wifelin
long
it's
weekend.
delicious and that you can actually probably do it. You could probably do it there. You would just need like something cold to put it on. You could get like an ice block or something most likely. Try it.
Okay, make sure everybody has bing bang boom booms, please.
I don't know what that means.
Cannonballs.
I don't know what that means.
Ball cannons.
Oh yeah, the ball cannons. Yeah.
The P is stored in the ball cannons.
Oh, Dragon's Dogma 1 is not on CD keys. This Dark Arisen PC is, but whatever the first one is
The
not
darkest arisenest.
Okay.
I'll have to
I
look.
will.
Right,
Okay, good. These are all
cannonballs.
loaded. All right, they're loaded. We're good.
Cannonballs.
Oh yeah, I loaded them.
You're so on top
not
of.
uni plus weekend.
Lows
Oh,
are lows, and it pissed me
word.
off so hard that I almost rage quit 2 times. And at the end, I had fun, but I didn't enjoy myself a lot of the times because it's so
Yeah,
weirdly
da, 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 da.
scripted. So, I will admit that like I give Baldur's Gate the benefit of the doubt because I absolutely love it so much, and I also have so many playthroughs that I was able to kind of like. I don't want to say work my way through the bugs because like that's not. Like, it's not fun. But, like, I have so many
Wait a minute, this
playthroughs
is a
and I've had
skull.
so many different bugs
bastard.
happen that it's just, like, I've watched 16 patches and how many
Can
hot
somebody
fixes,
harpoon
like,
me, please?
it's broken all the
Harpoon.
fucking time. Like,
Where am I harpooning?
they
Oh, over
always
there.
break
Thank you.
stuff. Like,
I
like,
picked up this thing.
I don't know how to explain it. I give it a lot of credit and I give it a lot of benefit of the doubt, but it's a very broken game.
There's a lot of components to it, and that definitely plays a
Yeah.
big part in the bugs, I think.
Yeah, so like for example, like they did something this past patch that made Minthara like straight up like spoil Act 3. Like yeah. Like so if you recruited Minthara in Act 2, like there was like a bug where like she would go and like like you would go talk to her or whatever and she would just be like, "Oh, blah 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 blah."
Where's?
I'm not talking about bugs, I'm talking
where
about the
do I-
intentional
where is
stupid
it in
things.
The storage. Oh, there it is.
Yes, there
Like-
are some things that I'm like, this is dumb, or like this wouldn't happen, or like there's some situations that I'm like, I hate that you have to solve it with X, Y, and Z, and there's no like other way of solving this particular thing, and just I get it. I still think
One
I
day
still think
I'll
it's game of the
Baldur's
year
Gate.
for sure. I still have 500 hours in it. I still
Did
love
Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
come out
Gate.
this year.
Yeah. No,
I
it came
was
out in
that much.
August 2023.
Hold on.
It got game of the year, right?
Yeah, it got game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You cannot steal unless you mod. You cannot stealth because they'll always know you're in a room. And stealing whatever is in there, even the door is closed, locked, and invisible.
Last year.
Um,
It'll be about 6 years from now until I Baldur's Gate 3. That is
Inaccurate.
kind of a quick game.
I steal all the time in that game. I steal
all
all
the time.
in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I steal all the
Yeah.
time in that game.
Constant. Me too. Yeah. Just
The
constantly.
one who's like never
Nah.
steals in a video game
No.
and judges people for doing
You
it.
just like Astarion built with shrouded in shadow and
Oh, you're talking about Astarion, so you mean stealing hearts?
they
not-
always
not
know you
all-
stole. No, I'm telling you, Arhan, I have 500 hours in that game, and I have 16 different playthroughs. I am telling you,
Oh.
no.
I'll play.
No.
I'll probably play
No.
Baldur's Gate
I'm
4
telling
and
you,
see
you
if
are
it's
no, no.
Hanka, they
No.
do not. They do not.
No.
I have 640 hours.
No.
They don't. They don't.
You can keep saying
Promise.
yes all you want, but the answer is still no. I have literally stolen with other characters looking at me. $10? Okay, so you can PayPal me $10 right now because the answer is wrong.
Now.
I literally steal from every single place that I go into. I don't know what to tell you. I have a rogue Astarion with enshrouded in darkness.
You're gonna just build
like all that shit. Like I can hide in plain sight with Astarion and not get seen. I actually just did it, and Bubbles and I were laughing at it because I literally just did it in one of my fights. I literally just went right up in front of somebody and crouched, hiding successful, and I just fucking stole right in front of them.
Don't I look cool, guys?
Look at you go.
Wow.
Look at you
Oh
go.
yeah, look at you go.
Look at you go.
Look at you go.
Don't patronize me.
Hey, look at my crab.
Broseph, Franklin is requesting that you repeat.
Oh, yes. Yes, putting syrup in the snow and then like taking a. Oh yeah, that's what you do. You roll it up with the stick. You don't stick it in. You roll it up with the stick.
Oh, I got
That's
really
what
scared.
you
I thought somebody was
It's delicious.
swimming
It's
over to
delicious.
what that crab sounded like.
Oh, the crab that Broseph has.
Me and
I
my
haven't
crab
seen
are
none of this
living
shit
life.
yet, have you?
No.
No, I haven't seen that shit at all.
How are we not to this thing yet?
Happy my little character is dancing with this crab and pretending to hide.
Your
This is so
national
cute.
delicacy is weird.
Well, our
What
national
would-
delicacy is probably poutine.
What is America's national delicacy then, do you think?
Well, considering that we have multiple regions,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody says, like, I live in Connecticut. Spoiler alert, guys, I live in Connecticut.
Wow. Oh my god, doxed.
Doxed, please.
I'm coming to your house right now.
I literally, guys, I remember one time I was bad as a young man. I remember
Oh.
I was on this forum, and they were like, I remember I like filled out this.
A lot of
thing.
people say apple pie, yeah. A lot of people
And
say
I
apple
filled
pie.
out a forum, and basically it was like, I like pretty much like gave them my address. I was like, hey guys, this is where I live, and the mods were like on the forum, were like, you probably
Hamburgers?
shouldn't say stuff like that. That's dangerous. I was
And
like,
how they
I don't
design it. You
care.
cannot pickpocket, and the pickpocket individual will always know they have been pickpocketed. Tell me about the mod and the fake death spell to steal from the vendors. Are going to turn by spoon and push things that are not in people's pockets. There are literal miles of threads with everyone says, yes, it's possible to do this, and this. It's not intuitive or good mechanics. That's shit mechanics. Okay,
Poop
okay,
mechanics.
Arhan, I absolutely love you. You know how much I love you. Don't come into my stream and argue with me because you're pissed off about a mechanic that didn't work for you but has worked for everybody else. Like, I'm sorry that you thought it's a shit
Oh, hey, you're
mechanic,
not
but like,
dead
I've done
anymore.
it hundreds of times in my game.
Apparently, we have 4 delicacies
No,
in
it
Canada.
hasn't worked for everybody else. Right, they
have
know
4.
they've been pickpocketed because, like, yeah, if you fucking put your hand in your pocket and your wallet's gone, you know you've been pickpocketed. Like, fucking duh.
Reach into my pocket for some small change. Sorry.
So
This is something
apparently,
Larian
okay,
says
okay, okay.
themselves. Right, but again, like, I've stolen, I've pickpocketed, I've
you
done the
still
feign death
crabbing over
thing.
here?
I've done all of the things, and I've never had a problem. I've never had an NPC be like, "Hey, you stole from me." Like, it's just they run up to the character and. I haven't had that happen, Arhan. Like, I'm sorry. Why do they run
Alright,
up
get
to
on
you at
cannon,
all?
guys.
Because then you weren't concealed enough. Did you do it without separating your characters out? Did you do it grouped up with your mod of 10 characters? Like,
Oh, it's starting.
You guys.
I'm not arguing
They're
about it.
coming.
It works. I've done it 100 times. And they
Hey,
don't walk
Ziggs
up
Driver,
to me.
my bestest friend ever. How you
Hi,
doing?
driver.
Okay, what side?
This side?
Oh, hello. oh no, no cannon left for me. Okay, I just go
I'm-
here.
Butter tarts. Bannock. What's Bannock?
Bannock is it's like an indigenous bread. It's a fry bread, so like it doesn't like have yeast and stuff in it. It's
Interesting.
like a big biscuit kind of thing, and you fry it, and it's so good.
Interesting.
This isn't gonna go well for us.
We got this. 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 Oh, they're down. They're down.
All right, raise
Yeah,
front
they are.
sail.
Okay.
Raise front sail. I need you to
I
turn
am.
us towards. No, other way.
Oh.
Other. Towards the.
You want me to just get here? I'll get off. I'll just get off. You can hop on. Here you go. There you go.
I was like, we need to turn towards.
Driver,
the
how's
sleeping bag.
your waifu game? Wait, have you even been playing that?
Driver, how's your school game?
Your
Called
school
life.
game? No, I don't care about school. School's boring. How's video games?
We don't
He's
care
gonna
about
be
school. We're not
building
nerds.
the world of tomorrow.
Mean, that's probably true. Driver, remember me when you're famous.
But yeah, Manic is so good. It's like legitimately so good. Like if you like
I've
bread,
never heard of it.
you
If
will like Manic.
You like carbs?
Do you enjoy food and just the whole
Yes.
essence of it?
Yes.
You will love it.
I do.
Oh, it makes such good sandwiches too. Oh my god. I
I'm
want some
sorry,
Manic
Horseman. I'm
so
sorry.
bad.
I don't mean to interrupt your bromance conversation going on.
Yes, I romance bread.
Oh my god. Bread mance.
Also, Arhan, if you're still here, I didn't
carb
mean to be
sexual.
rude. I'm just like, I'm not arguing about something that I've done and that other people have done.
Poon
without
me.
Problems.
And by poon me, I mean the treasure.
Oh, no, thank you.
No thank you.
No, thank you.
I won't be doing that today. Thank you.
Today.
Okay.
Today. Wow.
Nice.
Why is
Come
my
on,
cat
there's
always
one more and I
missing?
just can't see through the waves.
I can't find my pussy.
Oh my god, the waves will not chill, so I can't get this last thing.
Oh god.
I got it.
I
Okay.
can't. Oh no, it turned around immediately. Oh, I don't like that.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh,
one. Oh, there's two. Okay.
yeah, he's
okay.
going on the other side. Okay.
We got
No,
this.
we're gonna
Shadow
go.
skeletons are vulnerable to light.
Okay.
How do you
I have
do
to
light
remember
while
my
you're-
buttons? I got it. Oh, it's too high. It's too high. There we go.
Alright, we're turning to take on the sloop.
He's hit us. Hole in our ship. Oh, wow. How do we know?
Your ship is taking on water. Use a plank.
Okay.
Where's the hole? There
Oh,
it
I
is.
just threw my vomit into it. Good for me.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna grab some more balls. Some plankers. It's okay. I'll keep doing a little bit of.
Okay. Why is it giving me
Oh,
like?
we're gonna get rammed.
Here. Fuck.
We're gonna get rammed.
I don't
we're
understand
ramming.
why it's giving me like beginner's pointers here.
I don't know. Maybe because it's the season?
Like repair your ship using planks. Like I know.
Yeah. We're aware.
Some homework. Oh, I have to do my taxes too. Gross.
Okay, I'm out of balls. We're basically like right beside them.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, I'm peeling off.
Oh, they're turning and they are on fire. They're turning away from us.
We have
Okay, you
a
got it. Okay.
Nice.
Chunk somewhere behind us.
I think I shot it up a lot. It might
Yeah, no,
have
I definitely
died.
sank. I just
Oh,
don't
I see it. I
remember
see it. I see it. I see it. I
where.
see it.
Can you show me where?
Right behind us. To our right. To our
Oh no, that's a player. That's a player brig. That's not good.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, the sloop's right behind the ship on fire, I think.
No, I think it's right
Oh,
here.
oh.
Is this it right here?
Hold on. No, this is the eye. Okay, so there's the players. Are they gonna fuck with us? They're pointing towards us.
Oh yeah, they're
They're
probably
reapers.
gonna.
They have reapers running.
The galleon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have reapers running.
Are we?
Yeah, no, there's no question. They got Reapers up there. Good.
Okay, so should we start shooting?
They're gonna be spicy.
Are we shooting? Are we fighting? Or are we piecing out?
Yeah, I just said they're gonna be spicy.
No, I know they're gonna be spicy, but I didn't know if we're gonna be spicy. Ramming or trying to. They're probably gonna jump. He's already. I think he's coming up. Did I hear? No.
Oh.
Where'd that galleon sink? Ah, man, that's gonna have the good treasure on it, by the way, because that was the boss.
Yeah, we went by it. We went by it. Okay, we got a hole in the boat apparently. I will go deal with that.
You'll do your taxes. You're too smart.
Our taxes are done. Luckily.
Not now, Waterbot. Don't distract me.
Okay, hole. I think is. Let me see. Let me do a little
Keep
bit.
an eye open for the birds.
Yeah, hole's fine. Hole's fine.
Yeah,
Okay, birds.
keeping distance
birds,
behind.
birds.
Bangarang!
They're probably looking for the birds as well.
Well, they are not moving now.
Oh, they find the stuff? Yeah, the birds are over there. Fuck. They found the stuff.
Ooh, I literally clicked on my
Get 'em.
my what you call it. Big Antine by Moonmasher 1.
Okay, get on cannons.
What? Which side?
Yeah, where are
Left
you?
side, other cannons.
Port? Trying to remember
That would
that.
be the port side, yes.
They're coming right at us. They are going to ram. We are ramming. Oh boy.
They went over us. They're still on us. Okay.
Oh man.
I don't have a shot. I don't have a shot.
They are shooting me.
Yeah. Hi. Got him.
Dead.
Good.
I got him.
Got him.
Got him.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they blew me back. Here, I'm gonna go get the holes in the boat.
Stop getting off the fucking thing. Yeah, they got me that time.
Oh man, we got a lot of holes down here. A lot of holes. A lot of holes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're blowing me off of them each time. I think, and we're full. We're filling up. We're filling up fast.
Yeah.
All right, I got the mast down.
I couldn't even get a shot on him because I just kept getting blown back off of the.
I'm getting the holes.
Cannons.
I think I might have got them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Holes are done. I just gotta do another scoop. Hold on. Okay.
Only four people per boat is the max. Right now, we only have a 3-person boat, so a 4th person wouldn't even be allowed to join the boat. It doesn't even let them.
Okay, so here's the option. We can try to sink these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can leave and try to sell our loot so we don't lose the loot.
What do you
But we
think?
were leaving behind the loot that we got from the event.
I'm pretty sure they've already gotten it.
Yeah, it's on their boat, definitely.
Yeah.
Or at least.
I mean, it's a lot of loot. It would have taken a while for them to get it.
I mean, that's also true. They kind of came right for us. Where are they now?
We're getting right back on them.
Okay, I see them now. Yep, I see them.
So get balls and get food.
Balls. Okay.
Let's wait till
What
we're a
the
little bit
fuck?
closer.
Ha. No, keep that mask down, you little
Alright, let's get 'em.
bastard. Higher. There we go.
Nice.
It's too high.
Come on, come on. No, too high. Oh, shoot.
Fuck, they literally knock me off the cannon every time. Like, they know exactly where to shoot.
Yeah, they're good. They have good aim. Oh, we got holes down here. I will deal with them as best I can.
Oh, I can't. Even low, I'm too high.
Oh, we got a spawn coming up.
I could use a little bit of bucketing, if possible, please.
Sorry.
I can get the holes, but I just need. I want the
I'm on
bucket.
buckets. I'm on buckets.
Thank you.
Well, they got spawned on.
Okay.
Good. Okay,
Oh,
I think.
they are still shooting at us, though.
Yeah. Don't forget to heal if you can. Oh, I see another hole back there. If you want to grab a bucket, I got a hole just right here. I think it's the last one.
I need balls.
Hmm.
Oh lordy lord.
Oh lord and lord.
Sink 'em! Shooty patooties. What is this, aim hacks? Ooh, fuck. Yeah, fuck, I see you, shit. Yeah.
Fuck, I missed.
Oh, fuck. Why is my gun not coming out?
Where are they?
I think they're downstairs. Did they go down?
Are they on the boat?
He's right here, yeah.
Oh, they got me.
Shit.
Oh, he's got two.
Yeah, I got him.
Oh, nice,
Alright,
nice.
you gotta get the anchor up. Listen to me.
Christ. I'm
Anchor
going.
up.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Hold on, I got a hole down here, so hold on. Hold on.
No, we need to get anchor up. So two people getting the anchor up is a lot faster.
Okay. That knocked me down. Shit, he hit me. Eat off the poop deck.
Oh, what the? That's
He's
bullshit.
Oh,
But I
shoot.
got their anchor down.
We're filling, I can see.
Rick, I'm dead.
Okay.
He's downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I got like a shot on him. Oh, fancy meeting you guys here.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Howdy,
hi.
howdy.
The whole crew's here, so
Oh my god, whole gang's.
our
whole
boat's
gang's
gonna
here.
not be there when we get back.
Yeah,
Sure.
that is not gonna be there.
It's here still? We're good?
Yeah. We gotta get this anchor up though.
Okay. Again? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it up already. That's
All
crazy.
three of us need to get up here and get it up.
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm coming. Ooh. No.
Okay, they're behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally.
Thanks for the push,
He's jumping on.
Jags.
What the? Did I just get cannoned?
I think so. How did they get us on this side? Jesus.
Alright, I'm gonna just try to get us out of here for a reset.
Yeah.
My food's here. Alright, while I'm dead, I'm gonna run and grab my food. Hopefully, I'll be good.
Okay.
Okay, holes are done. A little bit of water down here, but not much. Okay. I will... Do you want front sail down?
Yes.
Okay. I will get it aimed up with the wind. Whoop, away. There you go. There you go. All right, let's go. Let's do what a brig do. I hope that they do not also do what brig do. They're probably gonna go for. Oh no, they're following us. I hope they go for the treasure. Yeah, they are
I mean,
following
the treasure's
us.
already sank.
Yeah. Here they come. Oh.
Okay. Let's check everything. I think everything's pretty much good.
Yeah.
But we're definitely not going to get out of this without a fight. We could try to do a play with the rowboat. We want to start moving treasure onto the rowboat.
I don't know, because they're going to see us, right? Because they're behind us. Like, they'll probably be able to see us do that, won't they? I guess it is foggy. Oh, no, they're turning. They're turning. No, they're not. They're just turning their things. Tease. All right, let's do it. They can't see us. It's foggy. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
So if we put all the treasure on a rowboat and then we position a rowboat drop in a way that they don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could drop off and wait for them and try to set their boat on fire.
Well, yeah, one of us is gonna have to. Once we get that loaded, one of us is gonna have to jump off and slow them down. Don't worry about the Meg. Don't even worry about firing on it or nothing. We're just gonna.
What if it's the green one?
Oh, I just dropped some loot.
Oh? I did?
No, I did.
Oh. Oh god, they're right beside us already. Jesus. How'd they get up here so fast? Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed right now.
Why?
You got a guy on?
My fucking DoorDash order is not here. Got him.
Got him?
I got him.
I'm getting the anchor
Okay, this guy's on he's on cannons in here.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Okay. I will check bottom. No, we're good. Okay. Okay.
What do we got for?
They can see us now, so they're gonna see the.
Yeah, we're not
anything
gonna drop it when they're looking at us.
No, I know, but they're gonna know that we have it on. That we're moving stuff. They're gonna know what we're trying to try. I miss the fog. We could use a good storm right now. Oh. Boy. Man, these skulls are pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I would have one of those on my shelf.
Trying to figure out where we want to go.
They've got a Meg up chasing them, so.
It's kind of on both of us.
I mean, that's debatable when
I'm gonna
it's
turn
up
south.
their booty, so.
Okay.
Ooh. How am I looking on those rocks ahead of us?
You're very. Oh, you're gonna hit it. Go to the right.
Just a little kiss.
Fine. I will.
Fucking shit.
Oh, we're gonna hit this rock right in front of us.
He's either gonna hit us. He's coming up. He's coming up.
Bye.
I still think he's gonna probably come up. He got in the water.
And that's how you slow down a boat.
Slow down a boat.
And they're still stuck back there. Oh my god.
They're on fire.
Yeah. They're having a rough time right now.
And fire's an interesting choice.
Just a little kiss.
Little kiss.
Just a little kiss. It's okay, guys. I'm an expert helmsman.
What was that?
The cannons on the island.
Yeah.
Oh.
A new follower. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. We have anonymous follows, so feel free to chat or not. That's fine. It's all good.
Or not. I'm not your dad.
I could be though.
Oh, here they come. Here they come.
Oh my god.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna go around this here Plunder's outpost, okay?
Uh-huh.
Oh, thanks, Woodchip. I appreciate that. Once we get around Plunder's outpost...
Oh, you don't want that wood chip guy hanging around.
These chips taste funny.
Little woody. Who's dropping in the boat?
Oh, we gotta repair the boat first.
I didn't know that boat could get broken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Really anybody can, I guess. You can actually,
It is cheese
attack
sticks.
to the sovereigns.
But they're huge. Look at how big they are. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Alright, they're gonna try to cut us off now.
Mm-hmm.
We can cut these off.
But I'm gonna go around the island. And we're gonna commence an anchor turn
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
on my mark.
Mm-hmm. I'm on the anchor.
I will be on anchor to help pull it up. I am anchor second.
Here they come.
Oh, yeah,
Here they come. They're harpooning.
yeah.
They're harpooning. They're harpooning.
Yep.
Oh, they're getting our treasure. They're taking the treasure.
I'm literally right here. Relax.
Oh no! I was just realizing what they were doing.
Oh, why was the anchor not being lowered? Oh my god.
Here they come.
I was hoping they were gonna harpoon me so I could drop their anchor, but that didn't work. So, for some reason, it's I don't know. It's taking forever to drop anchors.
Fuck. I'm down. Oh, the boat's down too. They just shot the boat off of the boat.
Oh my god! I can't get anything because these fucking waves.
I mean, they took the treasure.
Yeah.
They shot the boat. The boat just fell right off the bow.
So is it in the water?
Yeah.
Okay, so they still don't have our treasure then.
Quick, go get
Or
it.
some of it.
Okay.
I'm filling. I can't get. I don't think I can get the last one.
It's okay. I got it. I'm here. I'm back. We got it.
Come on. Oh my god. No, I'm not trying to place the trinket. Move. It's
They're
so
gonna turn
rude
around for the
sometimes.
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you don't remember where it came off?
Just behind us. So you
Oh,
turn right
gonna
around
hurt.
and go directly behind us, then that's where it will be.
No, yeah, they beached. Yep, look at them.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep an eye open for that.
I know. I'm
rowboat.
looking. There's birds over there, to the left.
Yeah, it could have sunk.
A dodgy-looking crew, indeed. Well, as long as it wasn't broken, it won't sink.
It might have been though. I don't know.
They were shooting at it. Yeah.
Yeah, like they shot it right off the back.
Well, I hope I don't run over it. You think it might be this?
There's birds in front of us too, and then there's birds to the left of us.
I'm gonna climb up.
I jumped off the boat.
Like I feel like whatever's happened, like if it's over, it
damn.
can't be too far from where we are now because like, didn't I die past this?
Yeah. See, it would be. Yeah, we're already passing the outpost.
The island.
Yeah.
Oh, then it probably sank. We lost all the treasure.
Well, we didn't lose all of it. They got some of it. Steal it back.
Means we can commence fighting them even harder.
Mm-hmm. They've already got our treasure. Like, why are they half on front? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They're harpooning. They are harpooned to us.
Oh, I just got one bulb. I'm dead.
Got a hole down here. I'm getting it.
Yeah, I got.
Oh shoot.
Yep. Time to hit the old blunderbuss. DJ, have a great time. Have a great night. Get some rest.
They're not missing a shot. Like, even with waves, even with, like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
smoke, like, they're not missing shots.
Where are? Like every time I die, they just like don't keep.
Okay, we are dry down here.
Okay.
Okay, they are to our right.
Looks like they're peeling off.
Yeah, they got our treasure. They're done. They're good. They got what they wanted.
Or they're turning back. What they really want is this field flag.
Hmm.
If they sell that, that's worth like 20k right now.
Ooh. But we are the treasure.
I don't know how this is to IRL, but you have ever those chain balls? Yes, yes, yes. There is the chains. There is indeed chain shots.
Yeah, they knock down the masts.
Mm-hmm. We have any? We do. See. Okay, here they come. Here they come. Nice.
They missed their chain shots. Whee!
Whee!
They're dropping sail. They're shooting. What are they shooting?
Cannonball, I guess?
Are they trying to chain shot, or what are they doing?
No, they're just shooting cannonballs from a very far distance.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do that to hide the fact that they're shooting people.
Yeah. Well, that one hit.
Oh, treasure.
Oh.
Not really.
Oh, treasure.
All right, you Reapers. I'm tired of just.
There's treasure over there, though.
Dance. It's time for the dip.
It's time for.
There really is treasure, though.
Not really. It's mostly barrels and a little.
Wheelie wheelie.
I mean, it's still treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he knocked me off. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
His mask is down,
Oh my
okay?
god.
It's okay. I'm the chain shot.
Oh my
master.
god, what the fuck is happening right now?
Oh, I could use some buckets.
Okay. I'm coming. Buckets. Okay, oh, their mast is back up.
I need clean booze. Oh, we're almost out of cannons.
They're coming, they're coming. Their mast is down, but they're coming this way. Oop, I just fell back down the stairs here.
Going for the ram.
Yeah.
They can try. Oh.
That didn't cram very well, did it?
One dead.
Nice.
Oh, somebody got me, but they're almost sunk. Keep the pressure on. Keep the cannons.
I can't, they're behind now, I can't.
Okay, well, we gotta do what we gotta do. They're really hurting.
Bryce, if you good down there?
Hey, man, what's up?
Yep.
I like your PJs.
Okay.
We're great.
Okay.
I'm Tony the Tiger because I am great.
Okay, I'll turn. Turning,
We
turning.
are dry.
All right, I'm back. Zoning in.
Okay. Here, I am off the wheel. I'm off the wheel, it's yours.
They're trying to blow themselves over here. Are they down? No. never mind.
No.
One of them just shot themselves in a cannonball this way, so just...
I don't fucking understand why it's... Every time I go to load, it takes me off the cannons. Like it's bugging out.
I can't really...
And then the plane exploded into a giant fireball. But I
don't think I
didn't,
can-
because I had my
Nice
tray
shot.
table up. And my seat back in the full upright position. Had my tray table up.
I need more balls.
Coming, they're coming, they're charging. Too high there. There we go.
Nice shots, guys. Nice shots.
It's too low. Okay, I'm out. I
We
gotta
have
get
a
the
hole
balls.
down here. I found it. I'm plugging it.
Get it.
We are
Oh.
Too short. I had the right line, but it was just too short. Alright, hold on, guys. We're pretty low on cannonballs.
Yeah, I know. I'm stopping. Yeah, they're just eating. And everybody died, except for me.
Good for me.
Because I had my tray table up. And my seat back in the full upright position.
Oh my god.
Oh, this one might hit. Maybe not.
Whee!
Nah, we're out of bear claws.
I'm like leaning with it right now. I'm like, come on.
Oh fuck, they're here, they're here, they're here, they're here!
Oh no.
Oh, I just went off the boat. It's all good. Cause I can come back up. I can come back. They dropped anchor, so I'm coming back up. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Where are you? Are you fighting with him?
Yeah.
Ah. That was bull. I
Nice.
can't believe I
Good
just
job.
hit him with
Good
a
job. Good job. Anchor.
full-fledged-
Anchor. Oh.
Woo. Okay.
Oh, wood. We need wood for anchor.
I go. Oh shoot! I literally, this is just the
Okay.
one of the
Okay,
few
okay.
times I had not filled up with the wood. Wait. I don't like what I said there. Oh.
Yeah, we're like full stopped and they're just right there, yeah. Are you over there, Chaos? You
Okay, I'm
here?
back.
No. They're blowing up.
I fix. I have lots of wood at least.
Wow. I have no idea what just whizzed over my head there.
Whee!
A little bit of help with bucket, please.
I'm dead, so I can't.
Which is a buckets?
I need a little bucket.
So you don't want to pool on the boat?
Both.
So, I'm kind of pissed off, guys. So, like, you guys know that I'm a big DoorDash user. I'm a big, like, I love DoorDash. I never have issues with DoorDash, whatever. So I just used Double Dash, which means, like, so you get an order from one place that's like, you know, the minimum dollar amount that qualifies for free shipping, which is, or free delivery, which is usually $12.
Ooh.
So you get, you know, your $12 worth of food at one restaurant, and then you can Double Dash without having to pay a second delivery fee to like another restaurant, like as long as you do it within a certain like amount of time. And sometimes it's two drivers. Sometimes like one driver does one and one driver does another, just depending on the locations, whatever. But so tonight I Double Dashed. I got dessert from one place and I got food from another place. I got the same delivery driver who did both of my dashes. Tell me how this bitch only dropped off one of my orders.
Oh my god.
And then she tried to take two different pictures because I have to give photo evidence when they drop off. So she took two different pictures from two different angles of my food to say I dropped off this order and I dropped off this order, and it was the same two items because it was just my food, not my dessert.
Oh, they killed me. They shot me.
I missed my board attempt, and now I'm mermaiding back, and
Yeah. But where is he? He's on fire, but he's here.
got him.
He's down. Yep. His buddy's here. Mikey Donuts.
Oh, they got me.
Oh, he's here. I see him.
That's my death.
He knocked me off. He knocked me off. Alright, maybe I can get... Where's their fucking boat?
I do like the Black Kraken set, though. I almost put that on my boat tonight.
So she took you for... I don't know if she took it or I don't know what, but she fucking basically was like, I delivered both orders. Tee-hee, see these two pictures that are totally different? Tee-hee. So I just contacted DoorDash and I was like, listen, I was like, your fucking Dasher only dropped off one of my 2 orders and tried to pass it off like she dropped off 2 and I want a refund.
Oh, GG's, ouchies.
Are we sunk?
There's a guy down below.
Oh.
He's
Oh yeah,
not very
he's
happy with
camping.
our car's extended warranty. He's been trying to reach us for some time to ask us to re-up.
Oh, I see. Fucking seriously, why does my character not take out my fucking weapon ever? He's in here though.
Oh, what? That was, oh my
God. Got him.
Nice.
There's no way.
Oh, did you just release? I was right here.
That's whatever.
Oh, there's fire.
Yeah.
Fire on the mountain.
Dual 4, they call insurance. Yeah, we are
How's it
on
going?
fire. We are on the fire, and I can't get down. I'm down. Okay, cool. Then they could call insurance. Everyone's got 1 spare, but not 2. True.
Oh, there's no water down here. That's not good.
No.
I don't know.
They're
I just
here.
thought it was
They're
shady.
here. They're here.
It was just super shady for them
They're
to be
getting
like,
on the boat. They're right in front of me, getting on the boat. They're on the boat.
like she knew what she was doing by taking 2 different pictures from 2 different angles.
Oh,
like,
that's dead.
come on.
Yeah, we're at the point now where I don't
The
really think
B,
we can
Elliot,
get
hello,
back.
welcome in. How you doing? Thank you so much for the follow.
I think they might be out of cannonballs too, though, because they're not firing as many cannonballs.
Yeah.
There also isn't any holes in our boat.
My emotes are cute. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love my emotes. She's not that slick. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can clearly see that it's the same 2 items in both pictures. Like, you did not drop anything off. Get out of here. They're on top. They're here. Yeah. What's getting me is the fire, like, cause I'm respawning to the ship on fire and then catching on fire.
Alright, I'm on their boat.
Alright.
Get
I am in the middle of the water,
Seek
so
fluid
our boat's
intake
sunk.
immediately.
Duckling, thank you. I will in just a second. Let me get up here. Oh, I just got sharked. Please, not right now, shark. Not right now, shark. Not right now, shark. Fuck.
Oh, GGG, all GGGs. I couldn't take on the 2 blundies.
Nah, you can't, Blundy. If they got the Blundy, they got the Blundy, and you, yeah, I got sharked. Whenever you have time, right now. How's it going, Duckling? Did everything go well? Elliot, are you a fan? Are you a fan of Sea of Thieves? I work with Blundies. I should Blundy, huh? Blundy is how you PvP, apparently. That's the strat.
Well, I mean, it's layered, but yeah, Blendy's pretty good. It's pretty much good on anything other than the galleon.
Mm. That's the PvP strat.
I found some cloth.
Alright, well, I guess since we're safe for a moment, I will, go piss girl. And while I'm gonna go piss girl, I'm gonna run an ad, so that way you guys don't miss any of the action, because there's so much action going on.
So much action.
Hang tight, and I'll be right back. Go piss girl!
So I grabbed our emissary
I don't know
flag
if anybody
and
caught
swam,
that or not, but
swam
Chaos
away
just tried to
with
blow
it.
me up and kill me.
Well, that's good. That's good. That means they won't get that.
I know. I took it and I swam. I found like this little island and I swam around and then I was getting chased by sharks and I died. But it's like I don't think they're gonna be able to find it. So they can suck it. Oh my god.
Everything's fine, guys.
I just showed up and you're on fire, so. Oh my god.
What a shilly willy nilly. Is Yaga coming?
I'm not sure. I can message her. Oh, I know. What happened? Oh, I don't know.
It was the pirates. Oh my god. I barely was in the water.
Okay. Oh no, what happened? Oh no, I'm sure Chaos didn't blow me up again the second I walked away.
Wasn't the second you walked away? I waited a good minute or two.
Oh, I'm sure.
Replay the VOD.
Mutiny, wow, wow, wow. I mean, is it mutiny if he's the captain?
Look at me.
Look
at me, I'm the captain now.
I am getting the med EPs, so
I'm the
I
captain
might
now.
be settling soon.
I mean, that's kind of like unacceptable, you know?
I know. It makes me a monster.
You want to settle?
Well, I mean, it would be a good time, I guess, now to swap to a Sloopy. I mean, we can we can stay Brig because she hasn't answered me yet, but I don't know. I haven't heard from her in a bit.
Which is fine. I mean, I could sloop, or we could switch to big face.
Baby, sloop.
Switch to big face.
Been bugging me to get this game, so I thought I'd watch some streams. Just test out the vibes. Depends. I personally think
Thanks for that dance,
Sea of Thieves,
86.
really depends on who you play with. If you play with really aggressive people, it might not be as fun. But I will say they did just add safer seas, so it's a
All right, this is the perfect time for me to adjust my sound settings.
a private server, so that way like
Switch
you
to
can
game
like, learn
mode.
the ropes and do
Thank
the
you,
story-based stuff, and like don't have to worry about people coming and shooting you and attacking you and stuff like that. Which is called Safer Seas, which is really fun. Quista! Shanananan!
Hurt myself
Broseph is
again.
gifted you a vampire skin and spray. Oh, thank you! I don't know if you saw my message, but Broseph is getting EPs, so they're gonna hop off the brig, so we've got a spot on the brig if you want, but no pressures. No pressures.
Okay, so what is the plan?
I don't know.
Now I'm not gonna be that guy, but
Mm-hmm.
but how long are we planning on going tonight? Because I usually stop between 11 and 12. I just noticed it was like
Right, it's 10. It's like
20.
10:30-ish. So I mean, I can go till 11, and I would be cool with that if you want to do
yeah,
a
sure.
quickie quick.
Sure. We could do something.
A quickie.
I can pop out. I see Bapa's arrived.
Yeah, but I don't know if she's joining yet because I know she was she was doing stuff with her husbando.
Oh.
Her
Husbando.
husbando.
Husbands suck, man. They're the worst.
Yes, till you go see. Yeah, so I said she's doing stuff with husbando. I know, disgusting.
My eyes are getting the big droopies, so I don't
hear
think
it in
I
your
have any
voice.
more
I hear it in your
Yeah.
voice. Go
Droopy?
Eepies.
I got
Eepies.
the Eepies. I go
Okay.
Eepies.
Okay.
This was so fun though. We
It
do
was
more.
fun.
We do more. we
Yes,
do
more sales. More sales. More
I never
sales.
heard you guys ask for that ever.
Wow. Wow. All right, let's
Blatant
sail.
disrespect.
Imagine having a husbando. Couldn't be me.
Okay, bye. Kiss, kiss, mama.
Goodbye, kiss, kiss, mwah. Yeah, doesn't it sound like Brosep's already asleep? Brosep was literally already
I
asleep.
lost that fight. Broseph was just like, "Listen, guys, I'm napping. Why? What is all this ruckus up here?" And then
Brosep's
Broseph
been
came up
asleep.
here and was all like, "Oh, we're on fire. Did you guys know fire?"
Broseph like rolled over from like his nap, and they were just like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! What is all this? Did you guys know the boat's on fire?" All right, let's go. Are we down? No, we're race. Okay. The biggest Eepee? Yeah, Broseph gets the medicine Eepees. The Medeepies.
Okay, so we can dive to something.
Okay, we can do another fort, and then hopefully a fort we can actually make it back and sell.
I know. That's just how it goes sometimes.
That was ridiculous. They had our treasure and they still came for us. Like
No, it was my fault because they definitely disengaged, and then I just kind of went back at them.
Oh,
I'm like,
chaos.
we're just gonna keep.
Oh,
doing this.
chaos.
I thought we could win.
I did too. I had faith. Deathmatch is oof. Save me. Oh, are we gonna deathmatch later? Is that what we're doing?
Okay. Oh, hey, just come vote for this, and I'll
Oh,
get the
sorry.
boat moving.
Mm-hmm. Stuck on the dive. Vote to dive. Raid on a seafort. Ooh, what's the little golden egg thingy?
It's an egg of gold.
It's a dragon egg. Landshark Pokemon event spawn Easter event. It's an Easter egg event. Oh my gosh.
Is it excellent?
It's excellent.
Ooh, I'm gonna stand in the cool spot.
Yeah?
Whee!
Oh wait, I wanted to look. Oh, it's okay.
Woo!
Somebody called Disney with copyright infringement.
Whee!
I'm
That
so
was good. That was good practice. That was good PvP practice.
I killed the guy like 4 times. I did good. I shot so many shots. I shotted it so many shotted it.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of practice with brigs anymore. I'm either on sloops or galleons these days.
Yeah.
Which I never thought I'd ever say, man, I wish I was on a galleon.
That was a good long battle. Yeah, sometimes they can go for a while. Like if, you know, each crew has enough skill, they can go for a while. And then there are some where it's just like you get immediately obliterated, or the other way around, and you just immediately obliterate them. We had one time, the best time I've ever played Sea of Thieves was when we managed to get 3 boats on one server. So we had three boats of, was it three brigs or was it 3 galleons?
3 brigs, yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 brigs.
And it was, yeah, it was funny too because we were like, okay, let's get like 4 people to try to get brigs on the same server. You know, we'll probably get 2. You know, and then next thing you know, at 3 out of the 4, we're like on the same server. I was like, how the fuck?
Yeah, like the likelihood of doing that is so rare, but yeah. So we got three crews of 3, so we had 9 people, and we just like we did a, what was it, Fort of the Damned? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Fort of the Damned.
We did a lot of Fort of the
like
Damned.
10 times, 12 times, or something like that. So we had a lot of treasure. Like we were doing one of the more difficult and more rewarding events, and we were just doing them back to back to back because we had 3 crews. And this dude came up on us and tried to like fight us and thought like maybe he could get like the jump on us because we were looting and whatever. So we destroyed him. And he came back, and we destroyed him, and we came back, and so like it just like he just like kept coming back, and like it was just like Chaos and like Astro and who'd you have, Naru, would like go off and like engage with them, while like the other 2 boats would stay and loot, or like so like we had like a plan, and so this kid just like kept coming back. Like he came back no less than like 6 times, and then another boat like rolled up on us. So the first kid who had been, fighting with us the whole time.
Can I just add something real quick? The crazy part of that is there's only 5 servers, or 5 boats per server.
Yeah.
So we had 3 out of those 5 slots. And one
so there's only 2 other boats, yeah.
So the other 2 boats decided to come also, like the other boat was like, let's just mess with it. Like, everybody was there.
Yeah. So the one kid who had been engaging with us and fighting with us gets on voice to try to talk to the other boat, and he's like, help me fight these dicks. And we're like, how are we the dicks? Like, you came up on us and we are working together, so we killed, how does that make us the dicks? Like, he was so butthurt. And that fight between us 3 and them 2
took forever.
Lasted forever. That fight lasted, like, that was hours.
Well, half the fight, like, we had 3 crews, and like 1 crew was just selling everything, and the other crew was like the other 2 crews were just like putting a blockade up. Like, okay, we'll just keep those guys off them. And it was raining. I have a clip of it, and it's just like everything's fine, everything's great, and it's literally just like thunder, lightning, and cannonballs just raining down. It's like,
was that the night? Was that your anniversary night? That was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I have that. I have that on YouTube.
I have it cut up on YouTube, because we also did, like, the fleet with 3 brigs.
It was the most fun I've ever had in this game. Ever. Yeah, and I've been playing this game for years.
Yeah, it was probably one of the most wild nights I've ever had.
Yeah. It was so much fun. We had everybody. We had Broseph and Woodchip and Ark, and we had Yaga and Astro and me, and Chris joined at some point. Yeah, we had everybody.
And you better kiss me, 86 driver.
Whoa.
Kiss me right on the mouth.
Whoa. Can you play this without PvPing? Yes, you can.
Yeah, there's a safe seas mode.
Yeah, it's called Safer Seas. And it's the same game, but there's no other players. And I mean, like you don't have to PvP. Like you don't have to go out and shoot people and kill people and steal their loot. But like, there's nothing to do to stop other people from doing it. You know what I mean? So like you can be minding your own business and doing story missions and doing treasure hunts and doing your own thing, and then someone can roll up on you and be like, fuck you. You know? But like I've had both. I've had nights, like I said earlier, this is my most uninstalled and reinstalled game ever. I've had days, like there was two separate instances where Astro and I literally loaded into the game, like we were still at the outpost, still at port, like we hadn't even set sail yet. And we were like on the island getting supplies, getting ready to set sail. 2 separate occasions we got blown up at spawn. And that was 2 of the occasions that I uninstalled the game.
I will say they've done a lot of work in pretty much making sure that that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Like the way that the algorithm decides where you spawn, like you will always almost always I'll say spawn
away
like,
from
far away from everybody.
Yeah.
Now granted there might just be instances where that's just not possible.
Yeah.
But now that
so they don't have safe spawns?
Because they bumped it up to 6 boats at one time.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like,
not unless you're on safer seas now.
Stable enough. And they're like, all right, we'll back it up back to 5.
Yeah.
And yeah, now that it's 5, it's like it's not terrible.
Nice.
Got him. Teach that guy to look at me funny.
Horseman, to answer your question, no, there is not any like safe spawn points or anything like that, unless you're specifically on safer seas.
Yeah,
which they only
no
just added.
Either.
Which they only just added. They only just added safer seas in December, so it's still relatively new.
I've been theory crafting with people that play the game, and I'm like, you know, it'd be really cool, like, because like you've been to Golden Sands, and Golden Sands is like this really cool big port city, right? And it's like, why have that in this game? It's like I don't want to go sit down at a port city where somebody can find me and murder me.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? But you can't necessarily create a safe zone that is like impervious to damage. You know what I mean? Because
I mean, you can. I mean, not to compare it, but like Skull and Bones does it really well. Like, there's literal like, there's zones, like there's lines, like you can see like a line of buoys, and as soon as you go into this line, you can't take damage and you can't shoot out of it.
Well, because here's what would happen. Here's what people would do in this game.
They would go into it, and yeah.
They would go in. They would go in and out of it. They'd come in. They'd go into it as they're about to get hit, and then they come out of it to hit, and then. But if what they do
there's like a countdown or whatever.
If they take like one of those outposts like Golden Sands that has like 1 billion cannons on it, all they need to do is when cannon fire starts near the island.
But that's the second time
NPCs
that she has
come out and start using the cannons to light both of you up.
Have a modded area like where there's no weapons. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to compare the two because I know that they're very different. But I do like that Skull and Bones, like, to PvP, you have to, like, mutually agree to it. Like, one person can shoot at you, and if you shoot back, you're engaging in PvP. But if you don't shoot back, it doesn't do anything. And that's what I prefer. Oh, we don't have a storage.
I'd be fine with that, too, if there was a version of Sea of Thieves that had a, you know, like, I guess it's not that word. I don't know. Consensual PvP.
Yeah. Consensual is a word. It's just got a connotation behind it. It's fine.
Yeah, it just feels weird to use it in the sense of PvP in a video game. Like,
yeah.
Do you consent to us shooting you with guns?
No.
Yes, I guess. Maybe. I mean, like, is it gonna hurt? oh yeah, that's gonna hurt. Then no, I don't want to. Are you sure about that?
Close. Oh, close. Oh my god, I can't get this other one to close. Whatever.
Alright.
But yeah, so like, now that we just did this, somebody could literally just like show up and be like, boom. Oh, okay. That too.
Why did you do what you did?
What did I do?
Why? You moved the treasure.
Oh, well, I was trying to... Okay, first of all, I wasn't moving the treasure to move the treasure. I was moving the treasure because I couldn't get this box to close because they were stacked on top of each other. That's what I was trying to do.
I was like, why? Why?
And then you got all happy, like, you know, freaking harpoon happy over here and zip,
I'm
zip,
so
zip,
happy
zip,
to poon.
You're so happy to poon? Wow.
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 Okay, so hold on. Let me check the map. Let me see where we're at.
I need food. Oh, we probably don't have any.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. All right. So, how would you like to snag a Reaper chest and sell it at Reapers?
Let's go.
Because it's literally right there.
Oh yeah, it's right there. The gold
We're
one.
not too far away from Reaper's hideaway.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, use the harpoon to make us turn.
Oh. How'd that work for you?
Say again?
Said, how'd that work for you?
Well, I mean, if you would have listened to the request of using the harpoon to help us turn, I mean.
But you
maybe,
literally said use the harpoon to help us turn as we were hitting our destination.
That's not how that worked. That's not how that happened.
What are you talking about? That's what I heard.
I said, hey, can you use the harpoon to do the turn? And then like maybe a second later, we started hitting the stuff.
Right. So like you were like, hey, can you do the harpoon? And before I even like walked over to the harpoon, you crashed.
you took a long time to get there.
Listen, I got lost.
You got lost. You know what? I'll let you have that.
It's a really big boat, and I got lost.
You're like, I thought I was on a different boat, and then I realized that we were on this boat, and it's a boat.
Just a few friends of mine would like to play this, but would be so mad if people came up and took everything. They like PV. Yeah, so just play. So play on Safer Seas. It's the same game.
Yeah, basically
just
Safer Seas. You get less gold, and you can only rep up to a certain level. But I mean, it really depends on what you want to do with the game.
Yeah.
Some people look at that, they're like, "Oh, that's terrible. Why would you do that to somebody wanting to play the game?" And it's like, well, I mean, if they're on the Safer Seas and they're literally only playing on Safer Seas because all they want to do is just sail and kill skeletons and fight, fish people.
Yeah, right.
Then they
Then
really
leave me
shouldn't
be.
care about. Yeah, they really shouldn't care about. Oh, I can't get Pirate Legend on Safer Seas. It's like, well, Pirate Legend really doesn't do anything for you other than unlocks a room.
Athena's, yeah.
Yeah. And
Men
like,
always blame. I know, right? Always blaming the women.
that's not true. I'm blaming a streamer. We are not people.
We're not the same. For those who don't know, because I know Chaos and I have kind of a different energy. Chaos and I have quite literally been friends for like 25 years. We went to high school together.
We sat next to each other in French class.
It's true. We know each other's secrets.
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 Pinkstill's seen me wear a trench coat.
I have seen you wear a trench coat.
And I'd do it again.
Salud.
I still own that trench coat.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
It's a well-made coat.
And a fedora, and a fedora. A few times.
Yes. I used to have so many fedoras, and then...
I know, they didn't believe me when I said it the other day, because Yaga said something about you wearing a trench coat, and I was like, yeah, he's also worn a fedora, I've seen it, and they were like, no, I don't believe it. And I was like, psh, I've seen it!
Hold on, I have an email for that.
I've literally seen it, what do you mean?
I'm gonna spam my fedora email.
He is not a milady man, and I will say that he's not a milady man because Chaos and I are so fucking old that meme didn't even exist at that time.
I helped invent it. Milady.
Milady? Was that the story about the school person? Yes, that's Chaos. Yes, that's Chaos. Chaos and I have known each other since we were like 15.
Yo, how the hell am I supposed to get this motherfucker?
Oh, you have to get on the boat. Yeah, you have to get around. Is that the one that's on top? Yeah, we have to harpoon it from the other side, I think.
I'm gonna keep looking for treasure down here.
Okay.
I've never seen it spawn there before.
Oh, I have. I've seen it.
I've only ever seen it spawn,
oh, it's a chest of sorrow.
In the bottom.
Great.
Yeah, just I'd hold off on putting that on the boat.
I already did. I didn't realize that's what it was when I grabbed it. It is. That's okay though. I'll put it right by the...
Is it crying right now?
No.
It's gotta be.
I'm gonna drop it right off the edge if I can get over here. There. It's on the other side of the ladder now.
And there's nothing wrong with fedoras, okay? They're very good hats. They're comfortable. Stylish, even.
I can't imagine talking to anyone I went to high school with. I think Chaos might actually be the only one that I still talk to, like, regularly. You know, like, I am Facebook friends with, like, a lot of them, but, yeah. As far as they know, I'm dead. It's kind of for the better sometimes, right? You know he has to have the cane. Do you have a cane? Oh, he has swords.
I have so many swords. Elon Musk would be jealous of my sword collection.
Yeah, Chaos quite literally, like, helps develop the milady meme. Like, Chaos was, like, one YouTube video away from, like, chopping up water bottles with a katana in his living room.
Let me just say, it takes a lot of skill to chop a water bottle with a katana. I'm just saying. Where are you? What are you doing right now?
Me? I was getting the rain out of the boat.
You're just on the boat. I have your stream up. You're just standing there doing nothing.
First of all, I was just scooping out water. And second of all, I literally just
trying to kill me.
Just readjusted my posture because I'm gonna get scoliosis. I don't want to get scoliosis. I gotta adjust my posture.
Question.
Did you know fedoras were first made for women? I did not know that.
That's why it takes a real man to wear one.
Men take everything from us. Man. I guess I'll go get some more rain out of the boat. You took our rib? Listen, I can't help that he decided to give it to me. I think you have to get on the side.
I'm like literally, I was like nailing it, and then it was just like, you're not though.
How did I get it last time? I like, hold on, let me see if I can do it again. You can hop on, if you can get on here, there we go. Nope. Oh, see, last time I'm pretty sure I hopped on the wheel. Yeah, you're hitting the pole. Oh, I was almost there. Ooh. Got it. I got it.
I do not know why, but it's literally like, there's like a fucking force field.
Yeah, I got it though. All right.
All right, so this thing's still crying, but if I...
Are we taking it?
Yeah, we can sell it to the Reapers.
Yeah. A man forcing a woman to exist and then blaming her for it? Typical.
How dare people
Typical
exist?
man.
It has nothing to do with men and women. It's just people. I hate everyone.
I hate everyone equally. You are all beneath me.
Listen, I grew up in the 90s. I know all the songs.
Everything about you. Also by System of a Down.
All right, let's get these sales down.
If you weren't here for that joke, everything in every song ever for the rest of forever is by System of a Down because I fucked up and I said a song was by System of a Down the other day and everyone made fun of me and I was like, no, every song. System of a Down sings every song. I hate you. You don't hate me. You just happened to be here when I made a mistake and now the whole world has to suffer for it. Ask Chaos who sings the song. Chaos.
What song?
Who sings Let the Bodies Hit the Floor?
Oh, he let the bodies hit the floor? That's Drowning Pool.
No, it's not. It's System of a Down.
No, I refuse to contribute to this sham of a meme.
No, it's System of a Down!
I can't see anything.
I told you he would know! Fuck you guys! It's the trench coat and the fedora. We were just talking about it.
The fedora gives me powers.
The fedora. Yes, I'm scooping. I'm gonna get this. They did chop suey. They did do chop suey. Chop suey actually is System of a Down. But I was being stupid streamer because I can't do two things at once, which is think and speak and play video games, which I know is 3, but I also said I can't do 2 things at once, so I obviously can't do math. So I was streaming and I was talking and I was trying to talk and I said, let the bodies hit the floor, and then I said something about like, oh, I like System of a Down, and everyone was like, you're stupid.
Well, have you guys ever heard of that guy on TikTok who like his whole thing
wake
is
up.
Say, make a song but in the style of this person. It's Matt something, but it's not Matt Cutchell.
Matt Cutchell? Oh, he's the Emo's Not Dead. Yeah, Emo's Not Dead, yeah.
But I'm thinking of a different guy on TikTok.
Uh-huh.
And he does amazing work. And I bet you he could do a Drowning Pool cover.
Wait, is System of a Down? Oh, I'm gonna sound so stupid. Is System of a Down the one that goes? Wah! Is that them?
No, that's Disturbed. Oh my god.
That's Disturbed. Shit! Shut up.
Are you not from like the 90s? Did you not grow up in
yeah,
the 2000s?
but do you know what I was listening to in the 90s? I was listening to Backstreet Boys and
like
Britney Spears. Like,
right
come
now.
on.
All right. No, you see, here's the problem. This is gonna sound really bad, guys. This is gonna sound really bad.
I know, I know Korn. I know Korn does the like he does like the fucking like the beatboxing thing. I know Korn. I know that one. Do I get points for that one?
The beatboxing
But
thing.
but it's not beatboxing. I don't know how to. What is he? What is it? It's not scatting. It's not beatboxing. It's like, what is it?
It would be more like metal scatting.
Yeah. But I know that's Korn.
Listen.
Pretty seriously, thank you. I'm never subbing again. Driver, you're never leaving. Get out. You're never leaving. Get out.
Listen, let me just say this. If you guys somebody just mentioned Britney Spears in your chat. Did you guys hear the Tenacious D cover of the Britney Spears song?
No.
It is amazing.
Does it slap?
Oh, it's as the kids would say, lit.
Lit.
Okay?
It's vocalizing. Yeah, I don't know what it's technically called. That Britney Spears was your first concert? My first concert was Backstreet Boys. Yeah, I definitely wasn't listening to that kind of stuff. Even in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Alright, can you check to make sure there's no water in the boat?
Yep. Where is the thing?
Alright, I have it off the side.
Oh, okay. We're good. I wish I was able to go see her in concert. My old roommate and I bought tickets to see her in concert one time when we were drunk. And we woke up the next morning to a very expensive credit card bill. But it was fun. It was a great concert. It was a great concert.
I think my first concert was AFI.
I'm going to go see them soon. In August.
Or, was it AFI? Yes, it was AFI. And it was nuts. Hey, we're turning in a weird way. Can you straighten out the boat?
Oh, yeah.
I need you to go, if we're at Fort of the Dam, northwest? Damn, we got turned hard.
Yeah.
You done crying?
Okay, we're going west. We're still turning.
Yep, northwest.
Yep, we're still going.
Cool, cool, cool.
And northwest.
But yeah, no, the Tenacious D Britney Spears cover, it's Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing.
I will have to check it out for sure. Your first concert was last year because I am baby. That's okay. Not everyone has the same opportunities and
honestly,
same interests.
I probably went to a lot more concerts when I was working at the casino.
Yeah.
But that's literally because I was working and I could just walk in and be like, and they could be like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
I've definitely gone
"Sorry,
to a
sir."
lot more events as an adult. Like I've gone to way more concerts and conventions and I've done way more things as an adult with like my own freedom and my own money than like with my family and stuff.
The things I've seen.
The things I've done. Like, are you serious? If my parents knew how much money I have spent on Comic-Cons over the years, they would quite literally like institutionalize me and be like, she cannot be in control of money.
I keep telling myself I'm going to go to PAX East, and then I never go to PAX East. But I think next year I'm going to PAX East.
I don't know. I've like always wanted to go to PAX, but it's so huge. Like it's always so packed there. It's so paxed. Now that you have money, yeah.
Driver, 86 driver, by the way. Rigby went to PAX, and I was like, "You motherfucker! How dare you go to PAX?"
Some people smell at Comic-Cons, but they don't smell. You're gonna visit Chaos after you get your big boy job? Aww.
Oh, driver, are you looking in my area?
In your area? You don't want to go
You know, it's funny because he told me because he went to school for engineering, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start looking for jobs." I was like, "You should look in Connecticut. That's where all the engineering jobs are."
Yeah, it's true. EB and shit.
They literally like invented engineering. I heard, you know, no big deal. No big deal. All right, before we start selling stuff, I want to raise the Reaper emissary so we can get Reaper rat.
Okay. Driver, do you have any leads yet? I know you said that you put some applications in, but do you have any leads?
All I'm saying is, I know a guy. I know a few guys.
I know a guy.
The driver wanted a job at EB. I mean, I could make a call or three.
One company said I'd be a good fit, but hasn't called me back. Ugh. That's one of the things that it's like, when do you reach out? How long is, like, too long? How soon is too soon? Like, should I call them and be like, hey, I'm really interested? So I usually just cry about it and then don't get the job. Still applying. That's good.
I've pretty much, not a flex, just saying, I've pretty much gotten any job I've ever applied for, except one, and I know exactly why I didn't get the job.
Yeah? Oh, we just crashed.
I know, I did it on purpose.
Okay. I think there's only been like one or two, and it's usually just like I applied for jobs that were like way out of my either like my range or like my experience, but I was like, I want to try something different. Like I applied to be like a receptionist at like a chiropractor's office, and he's like, have you ever worked in the medical field before? And I was like, no.
Oh my god.
I'm a fast learner.
Alright, let me get this on shore.
Okay.
We gotta get the boat straightened out, and I'm gonna go vote to raise Reaper.
Okay. What the heck? Well, I didn't grab it. That was weird.
Alright. We better hurry, there's a brig. There's a brig off in the distance.
I know, I got the Reaper's chest at least.
Yeah, when you bring the Reaper's chest over there, before you sell it, just vote
No, I know.
for Reapers?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
And then
Wait, where's the table?
it's right next to the guy.
Oh, it's up top, not below. Okay. Reaper's bounty is sold. Sold. Now we both get so much interview anxiety every time I look for a job. Basically, just throw spaghetti at the wall and hope one land sticks. Oh no, you're fine.
Okay, I should start dropping loot off boat.
Okay. No, Elliot, you're good. You're good. That's not TMI. Yeah, I think there's been like, yeah. So I didn't get the job at the chiropractor's office, which whatever. And I didn't get the job that I just applied for before the job I just got. I didn't get that one either, which was at a glass company, which I also had no experience with. So yeah, the two jobs that I did not get were jobs that I had no experience in the field, and I was just like, this seems cool. And now I work in the greatest field.
The greatest field. Is it drugs?
It is drugs.
Yeah, I like my job too. Though I don't know. I don't know if I'd like my job if I was working for somebody else.
You mean like if you did the same job for a different company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my job does it does have you need a particular set of skills. But it's not the I mean, I guess college would help. I mean, I went to school for psychology. Well, originally sports medicine. It's so weird when you... that's the thing I'd like. It's weird about college. It's like you go to college and they're like, I'd like to be a mathematician. And they're like, here's all these other classes you have to take.
I know.
So with sports medicine, you end up taking like a crap ton of psychology classes your first semester. And then I just was like, you know what? Fuck sports medicine. I'm going to do psychology. So that probably helps with my job, but at the end of the day, it's just like trucking.
Yeah.
Get some other trucking. We have carry chests. Okay, you're full. Welcome in, Cassie. How the heck are you? Went to school for graphic design. Now you work in Excel doing data science. Ooh, data science. You know, funny enough, I use Excel a lot in my job in trucking. Well, I personally use Excel a lot because I like using Excel.
I use Excel a lot too, but for like, yeah, data entry.
Well, like, I get like a lot of customers that'll be like, I need a report for X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then like I end up just exporting all of the data to Excel, and then I just use formulas and Excel knowledge to just like make it look nice and correlate and collate and all that stuff. And yeah, a lot of times people are like, wow, this is really great. It's exactly what I needed. I was like, yeah, it took me about 15 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bill you for that. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's in the mail.
It always makes me laugh. Like, there's like one woman who works in my office, and she's always like so amazed by like the things that I can do. She always says like, she's like, you're so self-sufficient, because like, for example, like I built like the IKEA furniture that we got for our new office. Like, I put the Wi-Fi extender in our office so that way we could get Wi-Fi in the new offices. Like, I set up the new vacuum when the new vacuum came. Like, I'm just like, all right, if it needs to be done, like, I'll just do it. She's always like, you're so self-sufficient. Like, how do you learn stuff like this? And so I literally did an Excel spreadsheet.
Little does she know you don't even know who Drowning Pool is.
Oh my god. Disturbed.
It's disturbing.
It is disturbing. I am disturbed. So I did an Excel spreadsheet of like just like a labor report or whatever. And so, you know, it just Excel, like if you type the equation in, Excel does all the work. And she's like, this is, how did you do this? And I was like,
magic.
Oh my god. I was like, Excel did all of it, I promise.
Cassie, I honestly, the same thing. I have to do a lot of math in my job too. And like, there's like percentages and fuel surcharges, and I gotta like do calendars and charge per day. Yeah, there's a lot of per diem math and whatnot. So it's like, there's times that I'm just like, okay, let me figure out what I'm going to charge this guy. And I just open Excel and I just start typing everything in. And I'm like, okay, now add this cell plus that cell, and then times that by this cell, because this cell equals the days I need times this percentage. And then and it's just like, next thing I know, I just have like this big old sheet of shit. Just like,
yeah.
What the fuck? And I'm like, they're like, so what does this mean? I'm like, we're charging them $5. And they're like, what? What? Is that it? I'm like,
that's it.
No, that's not it. We're making 1,000. Boom. Got him.
Are we good here?
Yeah, I'm just checking the boat.
No, that's what I'm asking, yeah.
Checking the rest of the boat.
The boat.
Yeah, it looks like we got everything.
Cool. So we lower the emissary.
We lower emissary. But yeah, Excel is a godsend. There's all these people, they're like, oh, it's time to do some math, let me pull out my calculator. And I'm like, what are you guys, dinosaurs?
I know.
What are you guys? They're pulling out their Cassie 5th edition, Casio, whatever. The things that fit in your pocket. And they're like, okay, if I just times this by 0.2, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Wait, what are you doing? Stop that. And they're like, what? I'm doing some math. I'm like, just not in front of the children.
Not in front of the kids.
All right, don't do that. Ugh, tonight was rough, but at least we made some money there.
Yee.
I'm afraid to look at this book. Did we break 1,000? Hey, almost made 100,000.
Oh, nice.
It's more than I thought.
Yeah, I didn't think. I was gonna say probably 50K, if even.
Yeah, we got. We were just over 75.
Not bad. Not bad. At least we ended up with something.
Yep. And maybe this week, you and I, and maybe others if they'd like, we could sail under rads.
Oh yeah, let's do some rads. For sure. All right. Are we going on? No, because we sold everything, so we don't even have to go to an outpost.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Do we want to double raid?
Yeah, let's double raid. Who are you thinking raided?
Let's see.
Who's on right now? I don't even know. Let me see if I know anybody on. Oh my god, I'm gonna raid this person. I don't know if you've heard of them. Pinkstol?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't really like that name.
Hard pass.
Pass.
Is it Pink Exel?
It's
what is that?
Pin Exel, actually.
Switch a big face. Thank you, Orderbot.
see.
Yeah, exactly, Cassie. Excel's nice because when you type stuff in, it's there, and that's what people that use the random pocket calculator. It like messes with me because they're using the calculator, and it's like, what if you make a mistake? You have to start over. And me, it's like, no, I just go to the cell where I typed in the wrong thing.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, thank God.
Oh, geez.
And all right, I don't see anybody that.
I've got somebody playing Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. I like Hollow Knight.
Okay, here you go. Here's her name. There you go. Char. Cryptic Char.
How interesting that it did that. It called you a smelly pirate hooker.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what do you know? All right, guys, we're gonna go.
All right, guys, I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna raid. It's gonna be cool.
Same.
Cassie, thanks for stopping by. Maybe I'll see you Thursday for some Final Fantasy VIII. Who knows?
Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Stay safe. Make good choices. I will see you tomorrow. I believe Yaga and I are probably finishing Sons of the Forest tomorrow. So, yeah. Have a good night. Stay safe. Make good choices. Thank you for hanging out. See you guys later.